Good morning, everybody. Rolling Stones, No Expectations. A little mellow this morning. Sorry about that. I've been listening to that song a lot in the last few months. I like it. I like it a lot. Good morning, Jimmy.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Okay, tired. A little aspirin shot last night helped me sleep. Not bad.
Open up that passageway.
Yeah. So, okay.
We're both a little fucked up. I got some kind of allergy attack yesterday, and it blew out my left eye. Looks like I got punched, I guess, but
it's swollen.
It's really swollen, and I thought it was going to get way worse, so I dipped into some Benadryl, which just makes me a groggy fucking mess.
Don't they have daytime Benadryl?
Well, this was last night as I was going to bed, so I'm like, I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night with my throat closed, because I don't know what the hell this is, so I just took a few Benadryl.
Yeah, I don't know if because I've been, for the last 3 or 4 nights, or 4 out of the last 5 nights, I've been waking up a lot with, just not, like, it's always bad for me, but it's been really particularly bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm eating something that's causing...
Well, have you changed your diet?
A bit more seafood than I've been having.
Seafood?
Perhaps that could be the problem. I don't know, but it's frustrating me.
Yeah.
Because I'm sick of it.
So I'm just waiting for this Benadryl to wear off. I feel a little sleepy.
Melatonin does that to me, and I never, the next morning, I never feel freshly. Even when I get 6 hours, I still kind of feel like the fucking spider webs on my face.
Well, you get up early though, so it probably needs time to kind of wear off, right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. This up early shit. Just never get used to it. It never feels good.
Well, especially for a comic, because you're doing sets every night later.
Yeah.
I get the luxury of going to bed at 9:30 if I want to.
I'm home by then. I just can't sleep. Yeah. I mean, I've done earlier sets lately, and I just can't. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Just down at the fucking Comedy Cellar to tepid responses.
Well, you're working on new stuff, aren't you?
Yeah, but even stuff that kills in front of my audience that gets this.
Well,
thank God for people who come to see me. I really thank fucking God, because these audiences, man, these regular audiences, when they don't. Actually, I don't go out that often down there. I'm not there every night.
Right.
So they're not my fans.
Yeah.
And it's just what they've grown at is so annoying, and so it's like you mentioned Cosby. Before they hear where the joke is, before they know where you're going with it, they've been trained just to get upset.
They're spoiled down there. They see so many comics. And it's also the area as well,
I think it's just audiences in general. They get very, very... They just immediately, their knee-jerk reaction is to get defensive and uncomfortable with the subject before they know where you're going with it.
Oh my God, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's really irritating.
When we were growing up, those were the topics you wanted the comic to attack and go all in with, right?
Yeah, they don't.
And now you just mention Cosby and you hear the groans.
No, but if they're there to see you, it's different. Like at the brokerage, I did that stuff and it went really well.
Sure.
When they're kind of there as your supporters, it's fine.
Well, they're all in. They want you to succeed. Yeah. And they want to have a good time. So
and they're there for that kind of humor, I guess. I don't know.
And they paid good money and all that.
But it's not even that harsh. Material's not even that harsh.
I know. That's why it's so stupid. It's that generation coming up.
I don't know, man. It's very, very frustrating. It's very frustrating. And, congratulations to the Post, by the way. Good job again. Fucking having the Charlie
You're congratulating the Post?
It's a hard thing to do.
Oh, my God. God help us.
A couple days out of that, you have to on this one, though.
Yeah.
They're having on the front cover, they have the picture of the new Charlie Hebdo, I think is how you pronounce it.
Right.
And there's Muhammad is on the cover. I mean, the Post is not making Muhammad the cover of their thing, but it's in the bottom right corner, the front page.
Yeah.
This is what the first cover of the magazine will be. And they showed it last week.
So they got a new issue coming out right away, a week later.
Fucking 3 million copies instead of 45,000 copies.
Yeah, and I guess they were going bankrupt. They were going out of business, and now with all this publicity and everything that went on in Paris, this magazine has a new life.
Yeah.
And way more people are now seeing what they didn't want us to see.
These these idiots just breathe life into the magazine.
Yes.
And the people now probably will not let this magazine fail because it represents something bigger now.
It represents free speech in general right now.
To a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah.
So now it probably will. People will probably back it financially just to make sure that it doesn't go under.
Right.
Because they see it as an important thing to keep going. So these dumb motherfuckers just help the magazine in a weird way financially.
Especially with the world we live in with this social media. So everyone just, freaking tweet it out or Facebook all these pictures that they don't want us to see. It's going to be in 16 languages.
Yeah, 3 million copies.
How do we get it in America?
I don't know. I imagine some of the newsstands won't carry it and some will. I don't know.
I bet you most of them will carry it.
Maybe, but if they're Muslim, they might not want to have that.
Well, that's why I'm saying that. Most of the newsstands are run by the Muslims.
You saying they will carry it or won't?
Well, I feel like they probably don't want to get involved, so I would say they won't carry it.
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know shit about it. My gut feeling is they wouldn't want it. Have it in their newsstand.
Yeah, I guarantee a lot of places in America won't. I just the balls of that company though to get right back into it, and after fucking all these employees are shot, they're still doing this. Like if in one of these a company like this, like you look what happened to Anthony, like they got some bad press, they were panicking a little bit. Oh my God, get rid of him! Right. And then these people are fucking murdered, and they're like, "Fuck you!" Right. We're doing like it's just balls, man.
A lot of people got promotions.
Yeah, I suppose that's a good way to look at it. There were about 10 spots in upper management available.
The news guy, I think, is the assistant editor now. I mean, I meant to say the mailroom guy. What an idiot! At
the Christmas party, it's going to be like a really awkward thing next year. They're going to be like, look, man, it was really sad, but sometimes right. You take lemons,
right. All of a sudden, someone is making himself at home in a real nice office over there that used to have a shitty little cubicle somewhere.
Yeah, they're kind of about schmitting the entire whole fucking group.
Right, exactly.
That's just one thing about this magazine is it is something you can poke fun at. And anyone who gets mad at you making fun of this, it's like, hey, dumbbells, this is what they do. Yeah, this is exactly what they would have done.
They were at the front of the line as far as this stuff goes.
What balls?
They came out with that quote, yesterday about how they puke on all the people that are now supporting them that never really supported them. And actually, those are the targets they go after anyway. Yep. So to see them supporting them, they don't want that. Yep. What was the quote? We vomit
on all these new friends we have.
Right.
Or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But then there's other people with the magazine probably going, shut the fuck up. No, we don't. We're going under, you idiot.
We kind of need the support right now.
You got to kind of, I respect the fact that they are, like, fuck you. But it's also like you got to let people embrace you. If people have been stupid for all this time, and then all of a sudden this happens and people are like, man, this means something now. And all right, we were wrong. Then you just got to kind of accept that, I think.
So the White House admitted they made a mistake not sending Obama or somebody from the White House.
Yeah, it's easier to say that now than to fucking send somebody who gets, a problem.
But the point is they rarely admit they made a mistake. That's what all the news stations were going with yesterday. Like, this is unprecedented, pretty much. They don't really ever admit they made a mistake. Right. So... And then someone sent me a picture that the photo op was actually on a side street or something. Is there any truth to that?
What photo op?
With all the leaders, arm in arm and stuff in front of the crowd, that actually was done on a side street, well protected, and that they actually weren't out there with the people. Did you see this? Is this a horseshit story or does it have legs, Sam Roberts? Good morning to you, by the way.
Oh, good morning. There's
the shot I saw yesterday.
I saw, like, when it's close up, it looks like, they're
with the people.
People. But, yeah, when they do the wide shot, it's just like they found a street and just had the leaders by themselves.
That whole picture is filled with world leaders?
And probably some filler, too.
And some people behind them.
Yeah.
Oh, so they purposely had filler as well to make sure the shot looked good. Yeah. So this is real.
Like seat fillers.
Yeah. So that's the picture as opposed to...
Yeah, because the picture we all saw when it first happened, there it is. That's the one we saw. It looks like, oh my God, look at all these leaders being brave to be with the people, the 4 million people that showed up in Paris. But then it turns out that they did all this on a side street with fillers. So those were fake protesters or supporters, I should say, in the background to pump up the shot.
Yep.
Huh. So Obama could have done that. That's easy.
True, but it also shows you that the security concerns were real.
Right. They just showed it on Fox News. They showed a close-up of the world leaders walking, and then they edited to the shot of all the people in aerial view.
Yeah.
Interesting. Does it have legs, or is it some publications that are just whatever?
No, it has legs. I mean, this is in The Independent, which is a legitimate thing.
You like The Independent?
Certainly do.
Ooh.
It's in the Daily News.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a story that's being reported. I mean, I don't think it I could see why they did it. It just...
I understand why they did it, but it takes away from...
the fact that they lied about it. And
Yeah. Because when I first saw that, I'm like, holy shit. I was thinking to myself, how did they get that done with all the world leaders and their own security people? What are we looking at?
I'm sorry, on Fox.
Oh.
On Fox Business, they were showing the Charlie Hebdo cover. That's all News Corp. All
Right.
of it. That's all News Corp. Fox, the Post.
Right, a lot of people just showing it today.
It's all under this one company. The other companies probably won't do it.
Daily News chickened out.
Fucking way were they going to do it?
They have it as a small thing on their website.
Oh, that's terrific.
And the New York Times isn't doing anything with it.
Why would they? Of course not. Why would the supposed biggest, most important paper in the world, show that?
They're not showing it at all?
No, but from things I've read, they've always had a policy of never doing anything with that particular cartoon to begin with, but who knows if that's
Well, of course,
true.
the policy of
The
with
policy,
Muhammad, of
blah, blah,
course.
blah. But this is a worldwide story now.
Yeah, of course. They didn't show it years ago when the Danish cartoonist was stabbed for it either.
Where's Roland? Did he wear his Ohio State stuff again today?
He's got an Ohio State ball cap on, which he doesn't even wear baseball caps.
Right. Did you watch the national title game?
Yeah, I was really thrilled about it. No, I did not. I didn't know it was happening. Who'd they play? The Ducks?
Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, no.
And they beat the shit out of them pretty much. What was it, 40-21 in the end? I didn't watch the game. I don't really give a fuck about college football.
Yeah.
Although, this year where they finally played for the national title, that's kind of cool.
What do you mean they're not playing for a national? Is it first ever? What's that mean?
Before, you just had your season, you went and did your bowl game, and then everyone got together and did some stats and figured out this and that, and then decided who was the best team that year.
Okay.
It was always a little strange, and now you get, the two best teams to finally play for the actual title.
Why didn't they do that before?
Before that, was all this weird point system. You could be undefeated, but if you beat teams that weren't as good as other, it was just nonsense.
Sure.
People were frustrated about that forever, so they finally got a system in place where two teams could actually play for the title.
Oh, okay.
Makes it more exciting, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy. They didn't do that a lot years ago.
No, I know. Well, they've been fighting this for forever, and they finally got it done.
Who wanted it the old way?
Probably the purist. I don't know. That's a very good question. I don't know. Someone that knows more about this than us, maybe they could call in and bore everyone with it.
And Penn State now is fighting to have its wins put back in.
Travis was telling us it might have something to do with a lawsuit or something, but the NCAA is reportedly considering restoring Joe Paterno's vacated wins.
That's really important stuff. Good. Are they going to put those boys' assholes back? Fuck him.
But it doesn't matter. Everyone knows he won those games.
Yeah.
It's kind of a technicality. Even if you're one of the old players, you still know what you did on the field and all the big wins you had. I think it was nonsense to take those games away to begin with.
Maybe.
I know they wanted to make it hurt, but that was just a silly part of that whole thing. You can't make believe that all that never happened.
Yeah. I mean, it's silly, but
Right.
It's just kind of punishing the school for rewarding football and putting football as a higher priority than what was happening. And they did do that. And his son said, his son made some good points when he was in Paterno's son.
I believe his son to a point. Obviously, he's going to, do a book tour where he, promotes his book and protects his father as best as he can. But I kind of believe some of the stuff he said.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard he seemed like, it was hard to debate him. I mean, he made good points. Sandusky's the real criminal, but
he had an answer to every question we asked him.
Yeah,
and he had no problem, being asked those questions.
No, not at all.
He was well prepared.
Yeah.
Let's say hi to Chris on Long Island. Chris, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
Hello.
I'm looking at this whole thing that happened this weekend, and all I gotta say is any world leaders, any leaders in general, linking elbows in protest is just a douchey fucking thing to do.
I kind of agree. It was kind of uncomfortable to see them all with their arms locked like that.
Yeah, we're solidarity.
Right.
Yeah, like the liberal delegation of Congress, especially during Obamacare, would hit Pelosi and James Clyburn and all these other, they were linking elbows and marching like they're trying to spark fucking the divisions of the civil rights protests in the 60s. And it's just like, in any other situation, any of these people wouldn't be within 10 fucking miles of the proletariat. They wouldn't be anywhere near any of these fucking people. And, I'm watching some of the BBC a little bit. And they said that the French president, Francois Hollande, has like a 13% approval rating in France, which means he's about a hair more popular than prostate cancer. I mean, that fucking guy couldn't...
Wait, what did you say?
He's a hair more popular than prostate.
Anyone else hear this guy?
No, you said that he's a hair more popular, and your phone keeps dropping out.
Yeah, guys, this ain't my first goat fucking. I know.
But it's still a good call you're giving. So you get this.
You rule.
But, so, you know, I mean, it's really just a douchey fucking thing to do.
Yeah,
And,
kind of. It's not.
I kind of like that they showed support because this is obviously a huge topic and subject. But now that we learned that they did it on a side street and it was all staged, that's kind of douchey.
It's douchey.
You know, the real problem I have with the whole thing is, you know, Obama probably should have been there, but now he wants to have some sort of summit. And you listen to Fox News; they were asking, are they talking about what kind of, you know, are they going to go after Islamic terrorism specifically? Are they going to talk about that? And none of the people in the Obama administration could say the words Islamic terrorism. They said, we're going to go after all kinds of terrorism. There are people who go after for a variety of reasons. We're going to deal with the Muslims. Obviously, we're going to go with that. I'm like, just say the fucking word.
They really won't say it, and they won't. They continually have to go out of their way to downplay the religious aspect of it. Mm-hmm. When it's those are the people said, like nobody in the streets of Paris said, I think those guys are doing it for Allah. They said it as they were shooting. We've avenged the messenger.
Right. They made it very clear.
That's why they did it.
I guess we need a few more of these Paris situations to go down, and then maybe...
Just the cowardice of the government.
Yeah, then maybe we'll use the proper language. He just leaves?
He was done. I like that guy. He was done. He was finished with us.
I like to think this is sort of like real life. If you're having a conversation with someone at the coffee shop, it ends with like, well, anyway, I got to go, pick up the kids at school. So have a nice day. Instead, this guy, if you're in the coffee shop having this conversation, just imagine the guy that turns around as you're commenting on what he said and walks out of the store.
I would love that. This reminds me of every time I've tried to get laid in the last 2 years. Things are going well, and all of a sudden I'm alone in the room.
All right. Well, there you have it. So no one watched the big game. No. On staff. Roland didn't even watch it, even though he was supporting Ohio State all the way, right?
Yeah, no, he didn't watch it.
And then the kids, what? They had a little riot because their team won, I heard?
I guess. I mean, that's pretty typical, though, of...
Yeah, you got to act up.
That's what happened at Syracuse.
If your team wins, you have to act up.
Yeah.
I miss the old days when your baseball team won the pennant, you acted up, and you got to run on the field and look like a complete lunatic. I like that. I'm all for this, Sam Roberts.
Yeah, I'm all for it, too. It was fun.
Burn a car or two, knock some trees down, all that stuff.
Light your shirt on fire and throw it around your head.
I'm all in. Look at this. They're celebrating the win. Buckeyes fans in Columbus celebrate Ohio State's national title. So is that the move? You light your shirt on fire and wing it around a little bit?
Yeah, like you climb up a tree, you light your shirt on, you take your shirt off, you light it on fire, and you swing it around your head.
Yeah.
But I think kind of the police department should monitor this. And if people are like celebrating a sports win this aggressively, you should be able just to shoot them in the streets.
Yeah.
Just shoot them right there.
Well, they shot some
shoot them.
All of them.
They shot some tear gas. But that just made them even happier, I think.
Yeah.
I think if you're rioting and then the police show up with tear gas, you're all in. You're like,
you're getting something done.
Right on, man. Let's go have a few beers now.
It's just silly. Our team won.
You don't like the whole...
No.
Yeah, but if your Cowboys won, you'd be pretty excited
Very
today.
happy. I'd be very happy today.
Did you flip a car over?
No, I would never do that.
But you threw a water bottle.
In a moment of anger against a wall, but I didn't cause property damage, and I didn't fucking use it. If you actually have to go if you have to strike a match and then cup your hand and light it at something, the cops should just shoot you in the street.
You threw your elbow out though, throwing this water bottle.
Well, I've had elbow problems before, and you saw how Florentine fucking hurt his hand yesterday, jacking off. So we all get weird injuries,
right?
But no, it's such an unnecessary fucking animalistic thing to do. Bunch of dummies running down the street. Yeah, our guys. Just
as long as no one's really getting hurt. Did anyone get hurt?
Not that I've read.
All right,
like soccer hooligans in England,
who
are much more violent. But
kids just having a little fun.
Yeah, they did this because I was at Syracuse when they won the basketball championship.
Right.
And it was fun to watch them tear up the street.
Of course it's fun.
Yeah, they climb up the tree, they light shit on fire, cops come in big buses.
Unless you're the shop owner, where they're just fucking blasting out your windows and stuff.
Yeah.
That's gotta suck. But besides
those shop owners like make a ton of money selling orange t-shirts all year because the team's winning. So.
And they're overpriced, so fuck them.
Way overpriced. All
right, so fuck them anyway. And they probably have insurance, so they're good too.
Yeah, they put up, they know what's happening. They'll put up some wood over the glass. They'll be good. T-shirt store is still there.
They want to try to stop this type of behavior after your team wins.
It's
not going to happen.
It's such worthless aggression. It's such utterly worthless. Like they don't do it over other reasons, like during elections.
Right.
You never see a riot over an election. But if the fucking one team throws the ball more farther than the other team, hey, more guys!
But they're college kids. Their penises are full of cum.
It's not just college kids.
And they're not getting rid of the poison. And so this gives them an opportunity to kind of just act up.
And they're all fucked up, too.
Huh?
They're all fucked up.
That's probably what it is. I think they've been drinking.
So you got to watch one of these?
Oh, yeah.
It's my dream to be at one of these things. I sort of was in Buffalo when they took the goalpost and pushed it over the top of the stadium when they won the AFC championship. So I was sort of there.
Yeah, they were like climbing up the trees and using their entire body weight to shake it back and forth as much as possible, trying to tear the trees from the ground. Yeah. I think I might have video of it somewhere.
You got to get that video. But you were at a safe distance.
Yeah, I was kind of like on the outskirts of it. Yeah.
I kind of don't want to be at a safe distance. I kind of want to be right in the middle of the whole thing.
I mean, I wasn't like, I wouldn't call it, I wasn't a distance, but I was right outside of it. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't in the middle. Yeah. Like, I wasn't going to get burned by one of the flaming shirts that were getting thrown around.
I'm telling you, I've talked about it a bunch on the show, but when I was in Buffalo and they won the AFC championship and I was far away, we had shitty seats for this particular game. And I watched these guys just attack the goalpost. They got like 20 or 30 guys on it. Next thing you know, it just tips over. I don't know how that's even possible. You would assume they're in concrete or something. And then they decided we need to get this goalpost out of a stadium. And they pushed it all the way to the top of the stadium and over the top.
That's great.
And then they somehow broke it up. Because then later on when we got in our car, we saw big, long pieces of this goalpost being walked down the road. And we're thinking to ourselves, eventually people have to just let go. Because what are they going to do with this thing?
Yeah.
And then the following year, parts of this goalpost were in all the sports bars around the stadium.
That's great.
Somebody cut it up and made sure every bar got a piece.
Those aren't all college students. See,
no, I know.
That's a professional sports team. Those are just regular people.
My point is, I love when people act up after a big win.
Yeah, as long as nobody gets hurt, I have no problem with it whatsoever.
Fucking mow them down in the street. Mow them down in the fucking street.
What do you got on this, Adrian?
My freshman year of college, I was at West Virginia, and they have a long-standing tradition. When anytime there's a big win or an upset or anything like that, people drag their couches out to the street and light them on fire.
That's every college.
Yeah,
well, he's trying to make it like it's the tradition.
This is like a Morgantown thing, yeah. It was always couches.
Yeah, but couches are shitty to begin with, so that would be the first thing you would pull out of your apartment and light on fire.
So like every win? Like
no, big wins. Big wins. Yeah. When I was there, it happened twice.
But it's not the tradition of your school.
It's a Morgan. Yeah, you can look it up.
Look it up, Sam.
The tradition is to light your couch on fire.
Morgantown couch
I would bet a lot of couches are lit on fire every time a college team wins a title.
I don't get that. Like, hey, they won. Let's burn that thing we sit on comfortably.
Retarded, but...
No, because then you would get in the car with your pals and ride around the neighborhood and find another couch. We always found our couches before the year started on, it was just couches people were throwing away. And we would drag them into the fraternity house, and that was the couch you had for the year.
People don't know how to bond. People are desperate to bond on things. That's all it is. We want to be closer. We don't know how to do it.
Yeah,
so instead of just being nice to each other, we fucking wait till something happens that we all agree on, and then set a couch on fire so we can touch palms.
But high fives aren't good enough anymore.
No,
it starts with the high fives and the shugs and all that shit, and then it's like, all right, let's start with our couch. Let's get that out in the street and light that on fire. What else can we do?
And everybody knows too, like from the time you're a kid, breaking things and smashing things is fun.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're very, very excited then it's like, okay, we got to break some stuff.
It's chimpish behavior. It really is. It proves that we are primates as people.
Yeah.
You're kind of getting called out, Jimmy.
Okay.
You have to take a phone call.
Sure.
You're getting
I'd
called
love
out.
to.
I said kinda, because I'm
free.
sure you'll be able to discuss
Yes,
this.
I'm not worried about it.
Rick in Ohio, go ahead.
Hello, Rick.
Hey, how you doing? Norton, didn't you have a friend that used to ride up and down the street in New Jersey and throw hot motor oil on people?
Well, you raised a valid point, but I have to say, I was 13 when I did that. But yeah, that was psychotic. Absolutely.
You were only 13 when you did that?
Oh, God,
I always
yeah.
thought you were a little older.
No, the guy driving was the older brother was like in his 20s, early
Right.
20s. No, me and the young guy was like we're 12 or 13. I was playing asteroids.
No kidding.
Still a little rough, man.
Yeah, it's psychotic. It's psychotic. I have zero excuse for it, other than the fact that in hindsight it's hilarious. But of course, dude, you're right. It's crazy. It was
Yeah, like you threw large objects into moving traffic.
yeah, it was mental illness. I wanted someone to be killed. I didn't. I'm not saying that I was good to do that, but I wasn't a 30-year-old man doing that.
Did you really want someone to be killed?
No, of course not. But
All
I mean,
right.
You would have been fine
I
with
did
it.
want to card it.
I didn't think you did. I just want to make sure you vocalize that.
I didn't project it that far. Like we did try to light a couch on fire and push it off into traffic when we were driving, but it was more that you just wanted to see some kind of carnage. You didn't actually go through your head and go, I wanted death to happen.
You guys actually pushed a couch out
Off the back of his pickup truck, yeah.
on a highway?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Like, that's something Macaulay Culkin in The Good Son would have
Yes,
done.
remember The Good Son?
Of course,
What a
yeah.
creepy fucking movie. What happened to Macaulay Culkin?
I don't know.
He should have kept those cute roles. He started getting way too dark with his shit.
Now he's in a cover band that only sings pizza songs.
I know. And there was a rumor he was dead last week.
He's alive.
The internet tried to kill him.
Still
But it
loving
didn't-
pizza.
It didn't work. So, did anyone get hurt?
I don't see anybody getting hurt, but I would tell you this. Adrian's right. Burning couches is a Morgantown tradition.
But
Specifically.
All right, I'm wrong, but
I never heard
college
of it.
would burn a couch.
But I'll say this. Syracuse only started lighting stuff on fire when we won the championship. It wasn't just like, oh, I hope we beat Villanova. If we do, we're going to light stuff on fire.
Wait, they light a lot of couches on fire?
Yeah, he
Like,
said
they
they
get
do it like
dragged
a
out
couple
of-
times this season.
Yeah, if there's big wins. Like when I was there,
That's dumb.
we came back and beat Marshall, and everybody, first thing people were doing was dragging couches out of houses.
They
Like,
should make a
all
movie
on the
about
street.
that, about the big game.
Yeah.
Everybody lights the couch on fire and all the people have their arms in the air and the credits roll.
What if you were the kid that got the couch during the summer? You're all happy. Your parents are getting a new couch, so you get the old one to drag up to college. And then there's some who gives a fuck win, and all of a sudden your drunk roommates are like, "All right, we got to burn your couch."
Yeah. Now, if you're caught within like 10, they're trying to shut it down. If you're like within 10 feet of a couch fire, you get expelled and charged with a felony, I think.
Get a flamethrower.
Yeah, couch fires.
Yeah. Couch Fire is a great name for a band. We go see the Couch Fires at the bar.
I don't know. I mean, when you go to college, it's a whole just different world.
Imagine how
It
disappointed.
really is, Jimmy. It's just nonsense
Yeah, I
happens all
understand.
the time.
Imagine how
It's your
disappointed-
job to just be a jerk on
Just a
campus.
douchebag.
Just
Yeah.
a jerk.
Like somebody's parents were like on Parents Weekend came up and they're like, let's go to the Target and buy you a couch.
That's what I'm saying.
And they bought him a couch
Right.
and everything. And then 2 months later, no, we lit it on fire because we won a football game.
Yeah, it's stupid.
No, I love it. That's what's got to happen.
I think both people, I agree with both.
Well, it is stupid, but it has to happen.
It should happen. I
Yeah.
like it when it happens.
If it happens, it's fine. I just have a certain way I think it should be handled. That's all.
A lot of people want to confirm what
bullets.
Sorry. A lot of people want to confirm what Adrian's saying, but yeah, we looked it up. I just assumed all colleges burned couches before they moved on to the cars, moving on to the flipping of the car.
But not like just because. Like Adrian's, these are teams they play literally every season and probably beat often.
Right.
And they're like, okay, let's burn more couches.
Oh, that's gotta suck. Next weekend, you want to just, sit on a couch and do a few. Oh boy, I was gonna date myself. Bong hits. Do the kids still use bongs?
That'd be a great place to own a couch store, though. I bet you the furniture people in town love it.
Right.
They probably make purposely flammable couches.
Right.
Flammable.
This one will go up real nice.
Yeah.
For an extra $100.
It's a couch stuffed with newspapers. Oh, perfect.
Right. Already soaked in gasoline for you. Just needs a match. Scott in West Virginia, go ahead.
Yeah, I was. I don't remember what game it was. It was probably back in 2006 or 7. I was in Morgantown, and after the game, there was the riots in the street, the burning of the couches. people being arrested, but there wasn't nearly enough police. And there was one big fire on Grant Avenue. That was where most of the fires would happen. And 6 or 7 guys were leaning on a Pontiac Sunfire, and all of a sudden everybody started yelling, "Flip that car!" And I watched them roll the Pontiac Sunfire into the street on top of the burning couches and other furniture. It catches on fire. The telephone pole catches on fire. One fire marshal shows up. He doesn't know what to do because it's just him. And all of a sudden, some girl comes out of the crowd crying, "That's my car!" I laughed and I felt kind of bad at the same time.
You can't feel bad because it was a shitty car. Most college kids bring their shitty car up there, too. So I don't even mind if the cars are on fire, Sam. As long as no one's getting really hurt in the end.
I mean, then you run the risk of a massive explosion.
Sure.
True.
Perfect.
But
perfect. I'm all for that. Stand around in your dumb sweatshirts and going as it fucking blows up, removes your skin.
Yeah, I mean,
students got together and bought her a new car. There's some students got together and fundraised about $200 to get her a new Pontiac Sunfire.
Oh, aren't they a delight?
We didn't have these opportunities at SUNY Geneseo. No football team. No exciting titles to be won in general.
Could have driven up to Syracuse.
That would have been nice. I could have driven a little east.
Yeah, the big they
camped out in a tree somewhere and watched the action go down.
2 school buses came, one full of cops and the other empty. And so they could just put the twisty ties on all the kids and just load them up onto the school bus and arrest them.
And then they let them sit there for a few hours, and then when no one's looking, they're like, "All right, you daffy bastards."
I'm sure they just
Get
leave
back to campus.
They leave them in the school bus in a parking lot somewhere, and then they just unclip them and go, "All right, guys.
All right.
You don't have a shirt on because your shirt was burned."
There should be a strict penalty for that.
What do you think it should be?
I don't know, some kind of jail time for rioting. Not a lot, not 10 years. You should do a year in jail.
A year?
Yeah.
For celebrating that Syracuse won a basketball game?
No, not at all. You should be for yelling and causing a ruckus. But as soon as you start wrecking property, a fucking year in prison. Get those college assholes fucked. try to tell the guys fucking you in the mouth and ass how happy you were about the win. They got the big woo-woo.
Another couch burning story. I apologize to Adrian. I didn't know this was a specific thing to your old college. Nick, go ahead.
Yeah. I went there from 2005 to 2008, and the only time that I really saw a real couch burning riot was when we went to the Final Four for the first time in 60 years. It was 04 and 05. I was just visiting as a freshman actually, and it's Mountaineers in the mountains. So you come over the mountaintop as you get into Morgantown, and all you see is fires all over the place. It was nuts.
Yeah.
And we're coming to my friend's Escalade, so we're trying to swerve around them on little fucking neighborhood roads or whatever, trying to get down to downtown so that we could go to the bars. And it was just nuts. They have videos of that one online where the fire trucks are trying to show up to put the fires out, and there's just thousands of kids in the street, and they just can't get there. The cops can't get there. It was literally, it might have been what made me go to that school. It's fucking nuts. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
And yeah, Morgantown is definitely, they're known for burning couches.
That sounds exciting.
People are throwing fucking couches out of second-story windows just so someone could light it on fire for them.
Man.
It's dope.
It is dope, right?
They're starting to shut it down, though. They're not fucking around with it anymore.
Why? Did someone get hurt?
No, it's just I think the school is trying to kill their reputation because it's not really an academic.
Who started this? Is there a rumor how this all began?
I don't think so.
No?
Probably one guy smoking in bed. Probably Rich Voss fucking fell asleep after a gig and his couch got set on fire, and people just thought what a great way to celebrate.
I think it's wise that some of the students are trying to jump over the couch fire.
Yeah, why not?
Ooh, I was one of those guys.
What's up, Vic Henley?
Yeah.
Good morning, buddy.
Cool.
Hey, Vic.
We're talking about West Virginia.
Well, of course.
You know this?
Burning couches.
You know about the burning couches in West Virginia.
Right, I have to now, since Delta's only regional jet, I just check a love seat for the overhead. But yeah, you're supposed to bring one with you if you don't have one there already to burn.
Oh, wow. Oh, so are some people being hacks and they have like a couch in the attic or something just waiting? Oh, look, Adrian's saying yes.
Yeah.
That's their burner.
That's not cool.
Exactly,
It's got to be an actual couch you're sitting on and using.
Yeah.
Now, some people do that. They have a shitty couch just waiting.
Yeah. People, there's shit all over town. Yeah. It's a college town, so you can find. You used to walk down the street, someone's gonna have a couch on their front lawn. You can just snag.
How tired do you think the college is of putting couches in the common rooms in the dorms? Like every common room.
They shouldn't.
Never.
No, don't put them back. You burned your sofa. Stand for a year, motherfucker.
You're so upset about the destruction of property today.
No, it just annoys me so much that these little fucking spoiled douches are running around lighting things on fire, like for no reason. I don't like when regular people do it either, believe me, any more than college did.
I think it's just fun.
When Kentucky won the basketball championship a few years ago, they did it too. They're on, that's only a couple hours to the left.
They're close enough to
exactly, to latch on
and burn their own shit.
Like all this stuff happens in towns where there's nothing to do, like it's Syracuse or Kentucky or West Virginia or whatever.
They do it in L.A. too, though. Like when the Lakers win or whatever, they do it in other cities. They don't do it in New York.
When they won their championships,
yes.
Wow, they burned Detroit pretty good.
Yeah,
well, Detroit's not exactly a.
Yeah. Mom, remember 20-something years ago, the Montreal Canadiens won a surprise Stanley Cup one year they wasn't favored, and they won, and same thing, they should burn down in Montreal.
Right.
Yeah, people just do it.
People, exactly. I guess they have, pyros in every town for celebratory reasons.
And in England, too. Over in Europe, it's not just Americans. They riot after their teams win.
It's exciting.
Gun them down. Gun them down. They should be pulling bodies out of the street after that happens. People be like, you know what? That was a fun win, but we shouldn't do anything because they're shooting people for it now.
I kind of like it.
Oh, imagine that 100 shot people, 100 troublemakers just dragged into a pile and fucking burned.
So if there was a vote for punishment to be death by fire?
No, not death by fire, but I mean when the cops are out there and they have to deal with this nonsense.
They should be able to shoot with their guns.
On sight, just shoot.
So there you go. It worked for freedom.
I was ready to move on from this, but this guy takes it to a whole nother level with the couch thing. Listen to this. Nick in West Virginia, go ahead. You went to West Virginia, obviously, where they burned couches.
Yes,
all right, go ahead. What's your story?
Sir. How we doing, guys? Beginning of the year, the Chick-fil-A kickoff game was West Virginia versus Alabama. It was a big game. I didn't have tickets to the game, but me and my buddy decided that, fuck it, let's go. We took the couch that was in my living room, put it in the back of my truck, drove to Atlanta. Didn't have tickets to the game. We ended up kind of getting into the game but getting kicked out before the game started. But we had the couch with us, ready to go. If West Virginia would have won the game, they played pretty good, didn't win. Brought the couch back home, and it's in my living room right now.
So you brought the couch down there,
just in case,
just in case they won.
Just in case
they did not win, so you had to drag the couch back.
Yeah.
He had a truck though, so that's not really that much. That's just a walk out to the truck and back. Really, that's worth it. That's preparation.
I love college kids.
It's not even students,
huh? Oh, he's not even.
He hates Pitt. He's saying eat shit Pitt over and over.
Okay.
That used to be a rivalry.
Of course, the one team doesn't like the other team. They say the things.
This is our rivalry.
Right. Yeah. But he's 40 years off. He's 40 years away from this. None of this meant anything.
Did you watch the game last night?
Oh, of course, absolutely.
You're a college football fan.
I loved it. I thought it was wonderful. Third string guy. He's a sophomore with a new baby. He's third string guy, sophomore with a new baby.
Sophomore with a new baby?
He's got like a 2-month-old daughter, the quarterback. Yeah.
Really?
Cardale. Way to go, Cardale. Youngest is 6. I just love it.
What happened to the other two guys?
Broken ankle in the next to the last game of the season against Michigan. The returning Heisman candidate got hurt in August in camp, didn't go in. Number 2 comes in. They lose to Virginia Tech, but win 11 in a row and rally around him. He's now a Heisman candidate. Snaps his ankle at the end of the game against Michigan, right at the end of the game.
On purpose?
Yeah, exactly. He was fed up. He wanted to go to prison like Clyde Barrow, so he injured himself.
You're a big college guy? You love college sports?
I love college sports. I love any sport, anything. I like any. Okay. Yeah, there was nothing. I'm a dude.
So Bill Burr's like that.
I'll watch anything.
Third string guy with.
He's in. He's got to go in against against Wisconsin for the championship game. So he's been number 2 all year long, just sitting there. Now he's in. They beat him 59-0 in his debut. They win 59-0. Then they got to beat a big bad Alabama, and they come back from 21-0 down, whip their ass. They also got a running back that if he gets in trouble, he just turns around and gives it to this dude, who Ezekiel. Hill is a beast. He's a sophomore as well. And,
shit, you know your stuff.
Well, you got to watch the game. You know, the fucker's 6'5", 250. He's Cam Newton, but thicker. So, oh my God, it's 3rd and 1. Oh, fall forward. You can't stop him. And then they run up to the line. He throws it deep. It's,
he's 6'5", 250?
Yes, exactly. He's thick.
Wow.
Right, exactly. He hit a fucking nose guard, a 295-pound nose guard, head on, and Whitey went stumbling backwards like a goddamn weeble.
Yeah, well, he'll have health issues later.
Sure he will.
The guy
I'm
who
sure.
ruined the discussion. Well, he's going to have heart issues.
He's going to have arthritis by the time he's 35.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's
wow,
crazy.
really?
Yeah, he might not even, the other kid's ankle might not be fixed for him to play next year. And then the kid that got hurt got a 6-year of eligibility. They got like 3 insane quarterback situations.
6-year eligibility.
Yeah, the kid that broke his ankle, Braxton Miller, is going to be the starter. He's a Heisman candidate, but he snaps his ankle in August before I think they've played a game or in the first game.
Right.
And because he snaps his ankle and it's so horrific and he was going to get 1 more year, he can go for the medical hardship and get another year granted because, hey, I snapped my ankle only. I was out there for 3 minutes, or it happened the week before camp.
Right.
So he got that. So he'll be back. He'll be back healthy. And then now the guy that broke the ankle that backed him up, J.T. Barrett, that happened in the Michigan game. He might not be ready until the end of the year next year because he broke his goddamn ankle.
So this is a good point, by the way, why they should get paid, because these fucking guys are getting no money, they break their bones, and it's like that hurts their NFL eligibility.
That may not even be able, right, exactly. May not even stand a chance.
And the colleges are getting their money, as we all know.
Of course.
It is a mess.
Oh, my goodness.
Aren't they now making more money than the NFL or something? There was an article recently.
I would love that to be true.
They're making billions of dollars, and these kids can't even get a free meal from somebody without the NCAA penalizing everyone.
They can't even pay their child support for their kids.
All these guys can't even fly home for the holidays.
Right, exactly. No, that's
so
true.
they're kind of stuck on campus. Like, what the fuck, really? The school's making all this money, and I can't go home.
We didn't have a pot to piss in. My brother's bringing home these big 6'7", 275. They're breaking the bed. You know, my mother's like, well, I guess we got more oatmeal.
Wait, what are you talking about?
My brothers would bring home the like you said, the guys that couldn't go home for the holidays. They drag them home to our house because when he played ball at Auburn, he was on the football team. So he'd feel bad for the 2 idiots that couldn't afford the bus ticket to go to bumblefuck Arkansas that was 17 hours away for Thanksgiving because that's all they,
There are people that say, oh, that's bullshit. What do you mean they can't fly home? But here you are to tell us that this is absolutely true.
They got $20 a month for laundry money, and that was in 1970. They got $20.
As the colleges are making millions off these guys.
Yeah, you could sell your tickets for face value, wink, wink. That was where they could make up some of the cash, was you actually were allowed. If they gave you 4 tickets a game that were $15 each, you could get your $60 a week.
If you're a college athlete, especially for the major sports, that you got to pay these guys.
Especially football and all this stuff. Right.
Why don't they?
Your neck is snapped, you're paralyzed, you never get to play anything. You know, the guy from Rutgers, Eric, just a few years ago.
Yeah.
Eric LeGrand, thank you.
He's out now. He never played, right?
No, yeah, he's been he's an announcer now, and he's not too bad.
Is he in a wheelchair?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, boy, is he.
Yeah.
He's really paralyzed, too.
Didn't they think he was going to be neck down, but now he's only...
Some of the stuff, yeah, exactly.
Some of it came back, but... Right. He's still in bad shape.
But that's it, right?
Why don't they pay the athletes? What's the big
scumbags?
It's under.
They just don't want to share,
because
right?
the NCAA, it's some kind of pseudo horrific, awful, big old.
This guy wants to comment
monopoly.
Comment on paying college players. Go ahead, Kyle, in Michigan. Kyle's gone. All right, that was quick. Thank you for the phone call. Wow. So you had
Saban makes $8.3 million.
Yeah, the coaches are making multi.
Yeah.
How much?
The assistants are making $2 or $3 million. Just like pro assistant coaches.
Harbaugh, he just signed for how many?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see.
I forgot how many millions.
To go back to Michigan, it's got to be. It's got to be a $50 million contract.
I forgot what it was.
It's the biggest in NCAA history.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jim
right.
Harbaugh.
Yeah.
So there you are. You're a kid with all the talent in the world, but no guarantee you're going to make it to the NFL, especially because you get injured, like we're talking about here.
Right.
And there's your coach making upwards of $7, $8, $9 million a year. That's got to drive you nuts.
Well, that's why it's easy for them to, say, no, go pursue your dream. I got plenty of my money here. You go ahead, go make yours. That's why none of the coaches really encourage them to stay too much because I think they feel guilty.
I laugh at the people that go, these kids should stay in college and get an education. Fuck no, man. You get an education so you can make a shitload of money, right?
You run your risk of go back and get it if it means that much to you.
Right.
A lot of them do. Go back and get it. Go in the off season. Plenty of them do. If you really mean it, they all will go back and get it and have it be real, not,
They go to the NBA from high school or after 1 year in college. I say that's the best thing they could do.
Yeah. Make some money. Don't snap your neck.
A lot of these guys are
don't run the risk of snapping your neck. Go get paid. Why
a lot
not?
of these guys are brutally poor, and you got an NBA contract just sitting there waiting for you. Why the fuck would you stay in school?
Well, that's why Maurice Claret, the last time OSU won a championship, he was going to be the first dude that he was going to challenge the freshman. No freshman had just played 1 year and gotten out.
Yeah.
And just remember, and then now he's in alleys holding up people and on crack. His whole story couldn't have turned out more horrifically hilarious.
Hilarious.
What happened to him?
Oh, it's every bad thing you can, drugs, robbing people at gunpoint.
Wait, he was going to leave to go to the NFL?
He was the first dude when they won the championship in 02, January 03. A freshman can't go. You can't play 1 year of college. You can in basketball, but not in football. No football, dude. You can't just play one and go.
They said it's a physical thing,
yeah,
right?
It's a rule. Yeah, exactly. It's got an age limit of some old crazy thing. So he's going to be the first guy to challenge it. And he's coming high off the championship, and he was amazing, and blah, blah, blah. And he wouldn't do it, and he didn't get to play, and supplemental draft, and out of college. And the next thing you know, crack, trying to pickpocket, robbing people in an alley, rehab, back to jail, pro ball, jail.
He played pro ball?
Tried to. Back in, he's in camp with somewhere. He'd clean up for 3 years, back to robbing somebody, stealing money, drugs. Just a roller coaster of, like I said, hilarity.
The argument that these kids should stay.
But yeah, if they would have just let him go, if they would just let him go then and play, we could have saved more money on his goddamn.
Oh, they did. That was what happened. They didn't let him go.
Well, yeah, exactly. He lost. He decided to go big and challenge it, and they squashed him like a bug.
Oh, of course they did.
And then right.
Why do they care?
Exactly.
Why do they give us
exactly?
I know why they
don't want their good players leaving right away.
Right. Scumbags. They said it's a physical thing because you're not as big as the player.
If the NFL thinks you're ready, if the NFL thinks you're ready, you're ready.
Why is it college's business? Why would they fight that?
They don't want their talent pool weakened because they make billions of dollars.
Or just in that sport
combined.
they fight it. Why do they fight it just in that sport? That's just weird.
And you can always go back to college.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want guys going in for 1 year and then just jumping to the NFL, I guess, right?
With all that talent.
Even though Calipari has no problem with that, University of Kentucky, right across the hall, right? Same campus. Same campus.
What?
Calipari, the coach at Kentucky.
Yeah.
His guys can come in and play 1 year and go in basketball, right across campus in football. Can't do that. That's weird.
I did not know they had an actual rule in college football.
Weird. That's fucked up.
I didn't know they had that rule. So you have to play at least 1 year, or
you two.
You have to play two.
Yeah, you can be like
football is a sport where you're getting fucked up all
maybe,
the time.
Maybe even three. Jameis Winston's a redshirt freshman, so that means he was there a year and didn't play. They put a red jersey on him, but he's there the whole year. So that counts as a year towards your getting out and going pro. So that one counts. So last year was his first year playing. This is his second year. It's his third year. That's why he can go. I think it may be even 3 with the redshirt.
They have to get their worth out of you before you can go make your real money. While they overpay their coaches.
Exactly.
What fucking
you got to pick a certain amount of cotton.
That's it.
Before we send you up here to the big plantation.
What a corrupt system.
It's not
so
too
corrupt,
good.
especially with football. When even in the NFL, what's the average career? 5 years? 4 years?
3, 2 to 3.
2 to 3.
Low. Yeah, it's really low.
So now you got to hope you're a great college athlete, and you got to hope you can last 3 years without having some kind of injury that's going to fuck up your NFL career.
Your other chance at 3. Right?
You're getting NFL concussions in college that you should be saving them for the NFL, and you're getting paid for it.
Right? That's true. Well, exactly.
If you have 10 concussions in you and you get 6 of them in college, what a waste.
Right. If you're going to be drooling on yourself later, it ought to be for a paycheck.
So corrupt. And what are they saying? We're trying to protect the kids, trying to protect the players. It's bullshit. That's complete bullshit.
Whatever, That's all, and all the money trickles down from the football. So the other really sports, if you rabble rouse at your school, all of a sudden swimming might go away at the University of Louisville or something. So it has a whole trickle down, big old monster corporate, we writing all the checks kind of thing. So everybody just has to kind of shut up and take the money, or you don't get women's volleyball down at Lycoming.
Yeah, Chad in Tennessee, go ahead.
Basically, I just kind of talk about the paying the players. All that money is basically made by the football program. Very few schools make money in any other sports. So all the money that football makes has to pay for all the scholarships for all the other sports. And that was something, I think it was like Title 9 or something, I believe. Basically said you had to have an even amount of women's sports as men's sports. So basically football has to pay for all that bullshit too. So all the scholarships that all the athletes on the campus get are basically paid for by the football team.
Right. So so some guy can't go to the NFL. when he wants to go to the NFL or when he's ready to go to the NFL because fucking women's volleyball has to be fucking paid for? Like,
he's funding a female shot putter.
Yeah.
for SUNY Geneseo. They might not have football, but they got a hell of a female track team
But
over
they
at
can
SUNY Geneseo.
afford all that no matter what. They're making so much fucking money off these kids.
That's why they made Title IX, because they said, look, it's so much money here, you got to do something for the girls.
Right. Wow. Thank you for that, Chad. I appreciate it.
See you guys.
All right, buddy. The Ohio State quarterback has 48 hours to tell the NCAA if he wants to go to the NFL. Huh.
Who, Braxton Miller or JT Brad? Not yesterday.
Chris in Buffalo, go ahead.
I don't think so.
Hey, guys. So the guy that played yesterday, Credell Jones.
Yes.
Yeah. He has 48 hours to tell the NCAA if he wants to declare for the draft. And he's only played like 3 games.
But he's played two, so it's 2 full seasons then, maybe. So it is 2. So if his freshman year, if he's a true sophomore, then I guess you can play 2 and go.
Yeah, 2 and go, and he's got 48 hours. But how fucked up is that? His biggest decision his whole life, and he has to make it in 48 hours.
And he's only played 3 college games?
Yeah, these past 3.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Maybe a 4th-round pick, but still, that's some good cash, you know?
As soon as he commits, and then if the NFL says, you're not ready.
You can commit and not have an agent. You can commit, not have an agent, and go back. That's what he ought to do.
Can go back.
And with no agent.
So, all right, then he would probably say, let's see what the NFL's thinking
totally
right
do
now.
that, right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Until the draft process starts, that's when he has to get an agent, and once you declare to a certain point, you can't back out anymore. So he had, but 48 hours. Some of these guys have had 3 or 4 months to start that talk, and he's got fucking 2 days. It's crazy.
So, thank you for that. Someone is saying that the rules are from the NBA.
So it is 2. I said 3. Sorry to interrupt. I said
it's 2.
Yes, 2.
Actually, let me just take this guy's call. Rich in North Carolina, go ahead.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Pretty good, buddy.
If I'm not mistaken, the rules about when students can move to the NFL and the NBA are actually part of the NFL and NBA collective bargaining agreement. They're not the NCAA rules. And I think the NFL rule is it's 3 years after your high school graduating class. So in Winston's case, it would depend on when his high school graduating class was. 3 years from that, you're eligible.
All right, but
does that have anything to do with the colleges pushing the NFL though? Like I don't understand.
There's
what
a connection there somehow,
this is
man.
a classic in cahoots.
They're in cahoots with each other. The NCAA, what are they paying the NBA and the NFL a little bit? Are they getting a little taste of the college money? Because that seems fucked up. Why would they agree to that when they could get these star athletes earlier than they do?
Well, I think part of it is if you're the NFL Players Union or the NBA Players Union, it keeps the supply of players down, which drives the price you have to pay up. If you bring in all those younger, it increases the pool of eligible players, and it can actually have a lowering of contract rates for the existing veteran players. But it is not an NCAA rule. It's part of the collective bargaining agreement. If I'm not sadly mistaken.
Fascinating.
What's the example?
That's what he did. Then he challenged. Then he challenged the NFL. That's what Clarett did. He didn't challenge the NCAA. Worse,
right?
He challenged the NFL.
What is the upside for the NFL?
Like he said, maybe you just keep the quality the way you have the big old rich guys already getting paid, keeping the little bitty rich guys not getting paid yet.
Oh, you think so? Okay,
he said it could be a numbers thing. It could be a numbers thing, right? 53 dudes on the team, and it could be a math thing. Who knows, right?
It's not the Ohio State quarterback that has 48 hours. It's Oregon's.
Okay, Mariota.
We're getting that correction. And then someone's saying there's only 7 college athletic programs that are actually profitable. Is that? Come on.
Athletic programs, that's a broad term, but your football could carry the day. If you got a good football and basketball, who knows? You could make money on all this. It's like it's running a business, It's all running a business. It's a gigantic $1 number game. It's a business. For them not to spread the wealth on down to the employee seems weird.
Colleges make a shitload of money.
That's what I'm saying. Spread it all the way down to the employee.
I've never walked around a shitty campus. They're all amazing.
At the big schools, they're.
Oh my God, John in New York, go ahead.
Hey, yeah, guys. So there's under 10 profitable athletic departments in college athletics. So not only paying for all of the weight rooms and obviously all the women's sports that not are as important as football and bringing money into the university, but I think what college and the NCAA are also worried about is that if all these colleges that are profitable are making more money and are able to pay their athletes, they're going to drop all the best athletes. And all these other colleges that get, pretty good athletes are not going to get them anymore. And eventually they're going to close up shop and go to the football program, similar to how Hofstra did in Long Island in the past 5 years.
Well, I mean, they have to pay for the women's, sports programs. What is that? A few volleyballs and a bunch of boxes of tampons.
Some mats for tumbling.
Yeah, what else do they need? A case of Midol and a bunch of tamps. Here you go, ladies.
And a couple volleyballs that need air.
Exactly.
Have at it,
some
ladies.
Some nets. Right. A couple of nets.
Knock yourselves out.
Yeah. Have fun. We'll be over at this brand new stadium across campus.
Exactly.
Watching the real athletes. Thank you, John. South Park. Of course they mocked this whole thing. How did they mock it, Anthony?
So basically, Cartman started a crack baby fighting league, and the crack babies wanted to get paid. And so he didn't know how to go about not paying him, so he walks in as a plantation owner into the office of the NCAA and asking him how they do it.
There you go.
I gotta watch South. I haven't watched South Park in years, and they're still doing it.
You can still
Great
flip
article
one.
in Time.
It'll still me either, and I'll not see one for 3 or 4 years, and then stop on one randomly, and it will always hold up.
Of course, I don't know why.
All right, and I go, why am I not saving these?
I don't know why I stopped watching.
But they are rock solid every time.
The characters don't age. It really is. They look good.
The acting, the writing, the acting.
I love that your family took in these monsters around the holidays.
Oh, and my mom would bitch about it. I can remember my granddaddy having to take a bed apart and take it out in the garage and put it on a vise and bend it back into shape.
Really?
Because the fucker weighed like 295.
And he had nowhere to go for
Thanksgiving. I'm on the floor in the pallet. He's in my bed.
How much does that guy eat?
Oh, good God. Right, exactly. Too much of everything.
Holy fuck.
Every now and then I'd run into him down through this because he was 12 years older now. I've walked on stage at Dangerfields and I'm like, oh my God, it's Tom Ball. Some dude from 1971.
That slept in your bed one
Absolutely.
holiday.
Right, exactly.
It's not the Ohio State. Okay, we did that one. Work at college. The older NFL players were pushing for that rule, not the NCAA.
Okay.
All right.
Well, because they don't want their fucking spots.
Right. It's not time to ride. Union man, I want to go all the way to retirement. I don't need no 18-year-old coming in here getting my card yet.
Who has fresher knees and,
exactly.
and a clearer head.
And a neck that rotates.
Right. Of course they would push for that. They want to squeeze an extra year or two from their careers before the young guys come in.
That makes me like the colleges a little bit more. I feel better to hear that. It's not the colleges doing that.
Well, let's make sure.
They still suck. The NCAA are not good.
Oh, they're awful.
They're still
I still.
Mark, that's the truth, huh?
Yeah, it is. And, this is... People call up and they say it's so simple. These college programs are making so much money, and it goes to the coaches. It's so complicated. Like, first of all, most teams, a team that hasn't seen a championship run in years, they are breaking even because look at how many players they have, how many scholarships they have, and how many coaches they pay, tutors they pay, travel they have to pay. So they're not paying for women's scholarships. They're basically keeping themselves afloat. What you can't measure is all the donors they get because of a win. For example, I went to Oklahoma State for grad school. They beat OU this year. They're going to get donations just from that game, but no one can measure how much money they brought in just from people who are happy and now giving money to the school. But I do know that most schools are literally just floating above water. But again, because they're paying their coaches millions of dollars and so forth. And my last note, though, too, is these guys, they don't get paid millions, but they don't pay for a thing. They don't even buy clothes. They get everything.
No, they shoplift. They shoplift most of the clothes.
That's what was it? Crab legs?
Florida State, right?
Crab legs.
Florida State.
Yeah. So again, they're not making millions, but they're not. They're getting a good deal out of it if they do go all the way through school and don't get hurt and keep going. If they make an NFL grade, if not, they just got a free education plus room and board, plus all the food, plus clothes, plus everything. So,
they don't get clothes.
Who was the college athlete that recently tweeted it's bullshit? I have to go to class or whatever. This was a big tweet about a couple weeks ago. He basically said, "Look, I'm not here to go to class.
Right,
Everyone knows that.
Right.
And he was pissed off that he actually has to go to class.
Sure. Yeah. There was an Auburn running back when I was there, and he got in trouble for the same thing. Right there in the local campus paper, he was like, "I am here to showcase my talents for the NFL."
Right.
Fuck history.
Right.
And he was just, and everybody's like, "We know that, but shut up."
Yeah,
they all
but
got
don't
mad
tell the
at him for
world
saying it. And he's like, "No, I'm gonna go. I'm not saying I'm not gonna go, but why am I here to showcase my talents for the NFL?"
Because everyone's
Fuck
in
history.
on it.
Exactly.
The professors are in on it. If you work for one of these giant universities that has an amazing football program, you're not failing any of these kids in the end.
Did he go to the NFL?
Oh, absolutely. Played for the Green Bay Packers. Brent Fullwood. He had a couple of great years. Yeah, I remember.
Sam tells a story. Carmelo Anthony went to Syracuse the same time Sam did, and Sam had a class with Carmelo Anthony. He showed up one time. And he slept through the class, and I forgot what the quote was, but he raised his head to comment about something that was going on.
Nice.
Said it, and then went back to sleep on his desk.
Wonderful.
Here comes Sam. He only showed up for one day.
Of course, there was all kinds of, that's fine. I don't care. Most of the degrees are now not worth anything. So, that African American studies is just a thing they created to give them. But when you go out into the workplace and put that on your resume as a degree, that's not recognized as the same thing as finance or
but you had a kid.
History or English. Yeah.
You had a kid recently, and he said, "Look, man, so this is all bullshit. We all know I'm here to play. I forgot what sport. It was probably college football. It's bullshit. I have to go to class because I'm not here to go to class. I'm hoping that I have a great college career, move right on to the NFL, and make millions."
What are the people who used to go to school? What are they called? The
academics?
The alumni?
The alumni. Oh, I can't stand the fucking alumni.
Well, those are the donors.
Let it go.
Those are the donors, so they could go back to their old school as a
they make me sick.
As a middle-aged man, and they can wear the hat and do the whole
bunch of 50-year-olds fucking remembering the good old days. Fuck yourself.
The sadder donors are the ones that didn't even go there. They're just some rich fucker that made a bunch of money. Oh God, yeah. You could just be. That's why I always tease the Alabama fans. I'm like, you didn't go to Alabama. You went to Walmart and bought a fucking T-shirt. I'll at least give you some credit if you went there and paid for your school.
I always thought it was the guys that went on.
It is mainly, but you can still, if you were T. Boone Pickens, who the big jillionaire guy, he gives tons of money to Oklahoma State, and so he did go to Oklahoma State, but he could just be an oil-rich Oklahoma State crazy rabid fan that dropped out of high school and made a shitload in the oil business, and he still wants a stadium named after him, even though he didn't go there. Those guys exist too.
There.
Yeah. I know he did, but those guys exist too.
But he did go there.
Yes, he did. But
why
those guys.
Why did you say you went there?
What?
You didn't say you went there.
He did go there.
He went there.
All right, now you're saying it finally.
No, I'm saying
he gave $880 million in one shot.
Right, but you could be that guy in another state that didn't go to that school and still just gave $1 billion. No, did you go to school there? No, I didn't go there.
Jim, you don't like the guys who go to work with their suit on and they have the old orange and blue tie pin?
It's fucking. It's like let it go, you fucking assholes. Do I walk around with fucking like promoting comedy clubs I worked at 8 years ago? Who cares?
They have a school ring for no sports just that says they went to the school.
Proud.
That's the best one.
What's wrong with being proud of
the school ring?
Just shit.
The school
of your old
ring.
college.
I don't mind guys donating to the college. If guys made their money because they went to college, I kind of respect. Like if you go to college and you make millions and you get out, like, all right, you want to get back to the college because it kind of launched you. That's different.
But what if they have no hobbies and so on the weekends they take their suit off and it's all like orange and blue shorts and t-shirts?
Then they got to go back to the old school, watch a big game, fucking move it along.
Hang out at the college bars to watch the game.
Creeps. I went here, but did you?
But they're trying to pick up a junior.
I don't mind that.
Okay,
I'm fine.
That's the reason why they're actually doing it.
Yeah, but what if they're just going to hang out with the fellas?
That's
like they go to the frat
what they're
house.
doing. But yeah, get away from the wives. Go put on the old. Makes me physically ill.
Sitting outside the frat house with a red cup of beer.
Yeah,
Red Solo.
Just trying to blend in with the new fellas. As the sorority comes up the hill for a little party.
How do they treat the alumni when they come back?
I mean, they're like cool to them, but not like everybody. They talk about them behind their back and stuff.
At the frat house, it's a whole different thing now. I don't know. The alumni only hang out with the alumni that didn't go frats. They're only just hanging out. It's just like rich people hanging out with rich people. They're not wandering around.
I would go back for homecoming, and then one year I realized, Jesus, you're too old for this shit.
Wait, hold on. Wait, do alumni go back for homecomings?
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
For what?
And there are guys who went to school and were in a frat that will go up and say, let me check out the old frat house.
Yeah, they want to go see their room. I slept here in 1982. I date raped in that bed right there. I date raped right in that bed right there. Pre-roofie, by the way. You just had to get them drunk back then.
Back then, you had to put soda cans in a pillowcase.
Exactly, and say, come in here and look at my lava lamp.
And they're wearing their old sweatshirts with the colors on it. You know.
Oh, how revolting.
We realized we were getting a little too old when we were coming back, and that we started, we would buy the kegs and stuff, so they would maybe leave us alone and not talk bad about us when we left the room.
How long did you go back for?
I think I made it almost to 30.
Oh. No, you didn't. How old were you when you left?
No, you didn't.
How old were you when you left?
That's rotten.
No, you didn't.
Left school or left campus?
How old were you when you were doing school?
I did an extra year and a half after I graduated.
Nice. That's good. I like that guy. I always like that guy.
Tell me about it, Van Wilder.
Boy, we kind of felt out of place a little bit.
I always liked that guy. I had him one building over in he was very helpful to
But
me.
in all fairness, that's where our career started. So we're like, well, why would we move to, let's say, I'm going to go local Rochester, which is boring, when we could still commute to our jobs and be on campus still. So on the weekends, we're still living the dream. Why wouldn't you continue to live the dream?
I know.
What year were you when you got out of college? Like, for real, got out? Like, how old were you?
23. I did an extra year.
That's fine to go back. You were too old to go back at 24. I think you're too old.
We lived.
Move on.
Yeah. We still lived in a house just off campus. We were 24 years old.
The guy was 23. His name, Jonathan Winters was my guy's name. And I'm like, Winters, how long you been here? And he's like, I'm 23.
But when we pledged my fraternity, there was a guy living in the house that was pushing 30.
Oh, wow, that's good.
He was a guy that graduated, had nothing going on, and decided, I don't know how he got this done, but he had a room and everything. He wasn't even a student.
That's not living the dream.
He was living the dream.
Watching a bunch of younger, more ambitious people shoot by you.
Yeah, he was
like
living
my career.
young. I gotta defend this guy. He's got young 18-year-old girls sucking his pud every weekend.
All right, that I understand. The desire to bang college girls.
He was still partying and very much living the moment.
One of the frats had a 28-year-old dude, and they'd sign him up for one class every year because he would come in and lead them to the flag football intramural championship.
Oh, really?
So they were milking a loophole on him. He was 28. He'd just come back for the fall. They'd win the championship. He'd get his pud sucked over at the Phi Delta house, and then he'd go back to Home Depot and ship.
At Geneseo, you didn't have to be a student to live in the fraternity houses back then.
Yeah, right.
And you always had one or two that would just want to hang on to the dreams. At least we were smart enough to go, all right, we're still here, but we can't live in the fraternity house.
No, that was where you drew the line.
That's when we realized.
That's where we're like, okay, we're going to stay in town.
And then we would come back for homecoming. When we started realizing we're a little too old, we're like, well, if we at least buy the fucking kegs, we'll be rock stars for the weekend. And then it was time to finally fade away.
Go back to a homecoming to live the glory days.
It was fun, though.
You remember? Yeah.
Oh.
How fucking horrendous.
I go to a game every year, but I like going to the game.
Yeah, you're
I tailgate. Right, exactly. It's fun. I'll go for the food.
I remember one year we went back and
what's that?
And the big in between was the big bar when where I went to college, which is now a fucking housing, which is so sad.
Always.
I just went local for people. And one year we came back, and all the bartenders that stayed in the area had shirts on. Yup, we're still here. Don't you wish you were? And they all had matching shirts for the homecoming weekend.
Of course they did.
Like that's right. We're still here, living the dream.
Yeah, having the same conversations as they wash the bar.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to go over to Sally's for a burger. After a win, we go to Sally's for a ball. Fuck you.
And cookies. Get a nice little sub.
It's just empty.
And we'd walk in
empty life.
We would walk in and cookies and go, man, it smells just like it did when we were here at college.
Of course it does, right. Failure
hasn't
and
changed
vomit.
a bit.
Yeah. Stale beer.
Time stands still at these schools, though. That's what kind of made it fun. To go
nostalgia
back.
I get
Everything
going back,
is still pretty much the same year after year.
Go back once. Hey, I used to stay here. It's kind of cool. I've looked at my old house, but every year the homecoming, for it to be an event, I got my thing. I'm shaking my fucking thing in the air. I'm so happy.
And when we used to go back, we thought our tolerances were still the same, so we're still drinking the same.
Hitting it like 19 beers.
Oh, my God. And you're just like,
right.
And you're like, what the fuck happened to my tolerances? You're just puking everywhere.
They should hang up signs to students for when the alumni come back. you're not welcome here anymore.
I stay away.
Get out.
You're finished.
What would you do if you're at your apartment, you heard a knock, and then someone said, "Hey, I'm Frank. I used to live here."
That
I
happened
just
to me.
come back and walk through.
I lived in a shitty little house, and that happened to me. My roommates and I were sitting there one night, like a Sunday night, and these fuckers knocked on the door, and our house was a shitty little outhouse behind a bigger house. And they're like, "We used to live in it." And we walk around, we're like, "I fucking guess so." You know, I don't know why you'd
Go back to homecoming. That's
right.
That's what you do in your downtime. You walk around to where you used to live.
Jesus God.
I've wanted to do that in my old apartment when I was a kid, but I just won't.
You know.
Yeah.
Looking through those.
I'll drive by the house I grew up in when I'm in my hometown, but I've never gone up to the door and went, "Hey, this is the house I
What are you
grew
going
up
to
in."
see if you walk in anyway?
Nothing.
Nostalgia.
Somebody
maybe.
I don't know. Somebody else doing nothing.
What did they do with my old house? I'm curious. Can I walk through my old house?
Is my time capsule still here?
Yeah.
Dude, you look like you would have a time capsule. Out of everybody that works here,
I'd probably be the time capsule.
You'd be the time capsule dude. I would totally.
You should make one, actually, and then get in it.
Put Norton in the time capsule.
How many homecomings did you go back to, Sam?
I've been
Syracuse University grad.
I've been back once since I graduated.
That was
There you
it.
go.
And that was only because coworkers went. Otherwise, I would not have gone.
There you go. You don't have big school pride to rush back?
No, I wanted to get out of there as soon as possible.
There you go.
I had no desire to go back.
Absolutely.
No, it was
the spirit.
Yeah, I had to go to school, and now I'm finished with school. So no, I don't go back.
No, why would you?
It just reminded me of all the scams, a lot of criminality. I had a lot of fun. It does. I'll wander around. I'm like, "Oh, I stole something from over there. Ooh, we broke in there one night. Oh,
I think you went back a lot.
I go every year. I'm telling you.
You still go.
I go to a ball game every year. I don't go to homecoming. But I will go to a football if I can afford it. I'll go to a ball game.
And you
every
wear
year.
the Auburn hat and everything?
No, I'll wear
Just a regular hat?
I don't even wear the hat on. No, I'll shower and shave on game day.
Do you go to the and you certainly go to the local bars afterwards.
My brother and all of his rich friends own a house that they tailgate in, and it's across from the stadium, and it's a house, and so it's one of the last houses on campus that somebody hadn't torn down and bought the property, made an apartment complex on. But
see, I think that's fun.
They bought it about 10 years ago, and so Dr. Ed Murray's a veterinarian. He's Terry's buddy, and Ed and Sandra, his wife, actually will stay in the house, but the other, 340 days a year, it sits there empty. It's across the street from the deli, Mama Goldberg's, the sandwich shop that's been sitting there for 50 years.
Wait, they only use the house once a year? That's how rich he is?
They use the house on game day. Yeah, he lives in Pell City. He's a horse doctor, and Terry, my brother, lives in Birmingham, but they own the house, or Ed owns the house. They tailgate in the house. Everybody else has an RV. They just pull in the house and hang out on game day all day long.
And then the house just sits there the rest of the year?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They like a good game. They like a good game day tailgate.
They love a good game day tailgate.
Is it a shitty house?
No, it's an awesome house. It's cool. It's an odd-shaped little, we used to call it the Hobbit house when we lived on campus because it has all these weird little archways and sloped ceilings.
Now everyone knows that house is empty 300.
So that's fine. I dare you to try to get in there. I dare you to try to get in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's no telling what kind of shit they've got set up for somebody trying to break in that house.
Wow. All right. Lou in Jersey, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
Welcome aboard, Lou.
When I went to Ohio State, this is how corrupt the NCAA is. Maurice Claret was one of my roommates. He was in one of my classes. My roommates. Kid didn't show up to any of the classes. And when you go to a big school, there could be 1,000 kids in it. In food and nutrition, there happened to be a big school attendance, and they lay the finals out. He got a 40 on the final, and he didn't show up to any of the classes, so obviously they just let him go there. And also, so they don't look that way. But then the NCAA goes ahead and suspends Ohio State for the athletes to sell their rings for tattoos. They give us a 1-year ban, and then they give Penn State only 2 years for all the sex crimes that were going on over there. I mean, it's complete bullshit. They just look the other way, and they pick and choose the punishments. It's the most corrupt organization in the country.
Well, I don't deny what you're saying.
You're saying that the punishments are arbitrarily meted out.
There you go.
Well said.
I love the word meted.
Well said, counselor. Well said, counselor. The shitty part is it takes them 3 years, and so when you finally catch somebody, the kids that are there now get penalized for when Reggie Bush took the money 3 years before. That's the worst part.
Okay.
If you're going to hit them on something, it's goddamn have an expedient process.
Yeah, and then those guys are fucked. They chose that particular university thing, and that's the best shot they have to move on on to the pros.
Pete Carroll
and now
was
they're fucked.
right. Pete Carroll jumped to Seattle, washed his hands, danced away, didn't get in any trouble at all for being the coach. That overlooked it all. And then the poor bastards, Matt Barkley and some of those guys that were stuck there, Sanchez, they're on probation because of what Reggie Bush did, but he's already 3 years into getting a check.
So you're basically punishing a building.
Yeah, right, exactly. They punish the campus. They punish the campus. That's who sucks.
Punish the program and the kids suffer.
Yeah, and the kids suffer, right.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
Should be immediate justice, I say.
Absolutely.
I want to start a revolution on college campuses.
You also want to shoot people that celebrate.
No, I don't. Not
sports
celebration
wins.
is fun. Enjoy it. The minute you start running down the street breaking shit, shot.
The cops can fire you, right.
Absolutely.
Random,
Real bullets.
right, exactly.
You're
a party pooper.
That's right.
No, I'm not. I love a good party.
You
love
ruin
to
a good
laugh.
party.
Love cake. I love coffee.
Cake and
Balloons. He loves balloons.
Absolutely. I love laughing, playing music at a decent level.
At a decent level.
All right, say you're at a party where you're enjoying some cake and some coffee and some balloons. Next thing you know, your team won the national championship, and someone is now trying to drag your couch out of the house to burn. What would you do, Jim Norton?
I'd call the police immediately and say there's a robbery in progress. And then I would hopefully be a gun owner by that point, and I would kill the person. I would call like in Sleeping with the Enemy. I've just shot an intruder.
You're a party pooper.
I'm not. I love a good party. I don't mind people drinking at a
Let him
party,
burn your
getting hard.
couch. Let him burn it. You got it for free anyway.
I want you to let him sit on it. I'll put plastic on it. Not that I'm bringing bed bugs into my home.
You would really protect your couch.
So I'm saying he's going the 180 opposite. So not only does he not want it burned, he's going old school, plastic protective. Nobody can even sit on it.
I just think of the shelves I had built, how somebody would fucking lean on them. Some big college lug would lean on it and it would fall through. And I would hear that fucking heartbreaking crack sound as it crashed. Oh.
What would be falling off those shelves, Jim?
Just a couple of signed basketballs and things that I hold near and dear to my heart.
I was going to say.
Somebody fucked up my signed Abdul-Jabbar basketball. I'd be very unhappy.
You would not be happy.
No.
Some figurines, maybe
None
some
too
figurines.
pleased. A
No
couple.
figurines.
Ace Frehley one, yes.
Okay, all right. Ace Frehley. Good
Big
choice.
fucking dumb
Good choice.
college lunkheads. Putting their beers on stuff. Come on, you're marking it. Put a coaster down.
Was anyone racist at your house when you were bringing the big guys home for the holidays?
Oh yeah, we got a little trouble for that. Yeah, or here and there. You know, my brother. Again, my brother played with the dude that broke the color barrier. James Owens was the first black guy at Auburn, so he's got a 30 for 30 coming out called Quiet Courage. But
did you know him?
So, I've known the Big O since I was 7 years old, and he was Terry's freshman year. He was the first black player at Auburn.
You know him because he was destroying your bed.
Well,
exactly. While Vic was in it,
and eating a lot of food. He was a cuddler.
He stayed at your house?
Oh yeah, sure, of course. Everybody, our house was a revolving door for Terry. Terry before he'd leave the jock dorm, he would literally, if there were 3 or 4 guys there, whoever could pile in the car, he just didn't want them sitting there, so he'd pile in the car and drive on home. So.
Someone in your house really liked black penis. Who was it?
When you're talking to him.
Exactly.
Who was it?
It's me. It's always been me.
You guys were bringing in these athletes year after year, long after your brother's gone. By the way,
still coming home. Still, we were the Harriet Tubman, right? The Harriet Tubman of NCAA football.
Why are you still inviting the black athletes into the house?
They just like my pancakes.
Did it get racist though?
So we would. Somebody once put a black funeral wreath in our yard, which we thought was some
the
sort
locals
of.
got pissed off.
Yeah, well, somebody. We had. We couldn't figure out what that was about. We assumed that was some sort of racist comment.
Wow. So wait, the guy. What's his name?
James Owens.
James Owens. Did he go on to the NFL?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think drafted like Terry, my brother. I think kicked around, tried to play a few years, and then he's a minister now. He's a great dude.
Your brother almost made it to the NFL?
Terry played the Falcons draft. He played it off and on for 2 or 3 years before he gave up trying to play. He'd go to camp. He signed free agent. He was going to play in Canada. He's playing here and there. He had some good stories, but he finally hung it up in about 74. Something like that.
What position was he?
Running back. He was running back. So
white running back.
Yeah, that's James Owens, 6'3", 245. A little Terry Henley, 5'11", 185. You can't even see him behind James Owens. Ooh, 4 yards, first down Auburn. So yeah, it wasn't a big mystery thing to do. But James was like a Bo Jackson before Bo Jackson was. He was a 3-sport athlete and won the decathlon, and everybody was after him. So somebody in the SEC was going to get him. He was going to be the first black man somewhere, and he just happened to pick Auburn.
What position did he play?
He was fullback. He was fullback, okay. And Terry was the running back behind him.
Okay.
So. Yeah, exactly.
But he didn't make it to the pros.
No, I don't think so. Not that I remember. He might have played a little bit. I don't. This is where
Did he get injured or something?
I don't remember. Somewhere when I'm 11 or 12, I quit paying attention.
Gotcha. After they destroyed your room.
Exactly. I was just happy to get the other room because it had the phone in it.
That is a great story.
74. He quit trying in 74, huh?
Terry was playing. There was the World Football League, which was a spring league before the Donald Trump USFL thing. It was a 70s attempt.
What years did he go to school?
Terry was at Auburn 69 to 72.
Oh.
And so, yeah.
I'm trying to go to break, but this guy has to ask you a question.
All right.
Vic. Chris and Charlotte, go ahead.
Vic, War Eagle.
War Eagle, buddy.
Hey, I just wanted to know, with your unracial bias, if you were a part of the fraternity that hosted the lynching party back in the late 90s.
No, I was. I left Auburn in '84 and was always horrified about anything stupid and shitty that goes on in the frat world. I blame all frats.
Wait, what happened?
I don't know. I'm sure somebody got in trouble for doing something.
Oh, okay.
The Kappa Alphas had Old South every year, which was a big racist. Everybody was always yelling at them every year for having a plantation party. So it might be them related to that, if I was just guessing.
Yeah, you pull it up online. You can see the pictures of it. It was the late 90s. They hosted a lynching party. They basically reenacted. It was a theme night, and they reenacted an entire lynching.
Every year some frat would get in trouble for something.
Wait, would they get a black guy to do it?
I don't know.
Would they get like a doll and actually lynch it, or? Oh, okay.
They did blackface.
Oh my God,
that's kind of a dick thing to do.
Wow. You just brought the party down a little bit.
They're all
fuck.
All I remember about them, you hated those dudes. They had a big, Gone with the Wind kind of frat house that they lived in. They had a cannon out front, and everybody that wasn't in the frat, different guys at different times would just all you wanted to do when you worked it out was to paint the cannon a different color. Like fuck these guys. You always want to go there when they'd get it all nice and shiny, like restored the Civil War cannon. And as soon as they would, somebody paint it pink or throw something on it and fuck it up because they were a bunch of racist dicks and we hated them.
Make it into a big penis.
Exactly. They were always fucking with the cannon, and they hate it, and they fall for it every time. They still make some fucking pledge, go out there and clean it, and they just put it away. Right. Different guys were stealing and always moving it around.
Then they think it's safe to bring the cannon back.
The cannon back. It's like, look, it's never gonna work.
They painted it like a penis. Did
somebody? Oh yeah, absolutely. One year, somebody painted it pink and put a big dick head on the end of it. So, that was good.
All right, with that, we're going to take a break on it. I love Vic Henley. What are you promoting? Anything?
I'm in Atlantic City this Friday with Ron White. We're at Caesars. So that's something to come see.
Oh, nice.
There you go. Yeah, come see that.
Did he enjoy his time with us?
He loved his time with, hell yeah. His whole time down here, he's Mr. Serious. He's all good, and especially in here with us. Because you don't have to, he just feels like he can just shoot the shit and hang out.
That was a fun time.
Yeah.
And Jimmy's got stuff going on, too.
Just off Connecticut, February 13th, I'm doing Foxwoods Casino, and January 30th and 31st, I'm in Tempe at the fucking Tempe Improv.
There you go.
And I think those are my only gigs. And go to time.com. I wrote an article that they put up.
Yeah, retweeted it.
Thank you. I linked it on my Twitter.
It's really good. Make sure you check it out. Go to Jim Norton on Twitter. You'll see it's one of his last tweets. Nice link to the article. Or go to time.com and find it that way. Time.com.
Oh, I don't know. I'm guessing you can get it from there.
Just go to his Twitter.
You go to my Twitter.
His old Twitter there.
Yeah, and I'm retweeting. Oh, so I'm retweeting some of those funny fucking Armand Jassoufly fucking for president things. People are funny, man.
They're really funny.
A vote for Armand is a vote for sidewalks. People are just fucking hilarious.
Very clever.
Yeah.
Got a clever audience. More with Vic Henley. Stay there.
For all the college alumni out there.
I thought it was very appropriate, actually. I thought that was actually super appropriate. I was going to say, I just told Sam, that's appropriate.
Very nice. We got Vic Henley in studio. And, Vic, we're friends, but I hate talking to you during the breaks because you come up with too much material, and I'm like,
sorry.
Shut your fucking mouth.
I forget after all these years, supposed to save it for the air.
You just got to sit there, and we just stare at each other.
I forget. I know. I should know the drill by now.
We could catch up after the show, get a bite to eat.
Stop telling you the truth.
Well, because you were telling me during the break, and I think I stopped you in time, that you were on the road for 21 days. You're a comic that really loves your house, and you don't really like getting out there a lot.
This is my 30th year, and after 30 years, my favorite thing to do is just sit in my goddamn living room and do absolutely nothing.
So being out there for 3 weeks straight drove you nuts.
I got stuck. It's been over probably at least 10 years since that's happened to me. But I'll go home just for one day just to recharge and turn around and leave the next day.
Where'd you get stuck?
Oh, everywhere. I was in Ohio. I was in Cleveland. I was down. My niece got married in Huntsville, Alabama on New New Year's Eve.
Thank you. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
that's what I made you. I made you stop when you said that.
Well, I had to get there. That's hard enough just on a regular day.
You know your niece is extremely
selfish, you want to say.
Thank you. I don't know how he's going to handle this, but someone has to say it.
Everybody in my family would say that. That's the
She's
perfect
extremely
word.
selfish to have a wedding on New Year's Eve.
Well, Uncle Vic, everybody wants to have a good party to go to on New Year's Eve. I thought I'd throw one.
I hate those people.
Right. So
those,
exactly.
I don't know, like a 4th of July weekend wedding,
and
or
then
around St. Patty's Day. It's like you fucking selfish piece of shit.
I was already mad enough. It took me forever to get there. Then I find out they wanted me to like say something funny at the rehearsal dinner, which I couldn't make. I could only get there because it's in goddamn Huntsville, Alabama, and you got to get on a dog sled and 2 trains and a tunnel to get there. And so, and she got pissy with me. She goes, we wanted to say something. I'll say, what? She goes, we thought you'd do something funny. I'm like, Katie, I'm not doing goddamn time. It's your wedding. You know how I feel about this. She's like, well, we just thought you. No, look, I always disappoint everybody at everybody's wedding. Because like, be funny. I'm like, no, hey, they got married. Good luck to them. Hope it fucking works.
Wait, so they give you the microphone?
Yeah, they wanted me to. They didn't. They knew better after I said no.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what you should have said? Well, I would love to, but I'm not going to be there.
That's what I said.
Because New Year's Eve is the biggest money night of the year.
For comedy. Yes. Right. My whole family knows this, and from the get-go, 6 months when she sends out the invitation, after all these years, my mother's like, isn't that the biggest money now of the year in comedy?
Did you go to the wedding?
I did, yeah.
Why?
Exactly.
Why didn't you say no?
Right.
Or take a gig down there?
I didn't know. I just fucking, because sometimes I have to prove to myself, no, I'll go act like a regular person and go to a family thing, and it'll be fun, and it never fucking is worth it every time.
New Year's Eve?
Yeah, I know. In Huntsville, Alabama. In Huntsville, Alabama.
And you got to get out of the wedding hall before midnight.
Church. Well, no, country club. We stayed there. They didn't even do a countdown. They had a great funk band. I'm looking around. They're giving out hats and noisemakers. And I'm like, well, it was supposed to be 12. It was 12:43. It was 12:43.
And you didn't even know what time it was?
I had no idea. I was out there dancing around, doing shots, having a great time. I'm like, well, there's hats back there. There's noisemakers. Surely to God there'll be a countdown. And then I looked at my girlfriend. I'm like, what time is it? She goes, 12:43. I'm like, well, fuck that. I guess no countdown.
Was she disappointed, or she?
No, it doesn't matter. She
probably liked it more than a gig, just to hang at a wedding.
Exactly, it was fine. I didn't care. The funk band was great. It was a good party, but it was just stupid.
I had an aunt. Every wedding without fail, she would have to come up to me and go. We'd have a DJ. Hey, why don't you go up there and show them how it's done? Of course. If you said it once, I'll give everyone one shot. All right, that's kind of funny. Let's all laugh. But every wedding without fail, and I would see her coming. I'm like,
how would she say it?
Why don't you go up there and show them how it's done? Not even knowing that I moved on from being a music jock like fucking 20 years ago at this point.
Did you hate when she would say that?
I hated her in general, to be honest with you.
They all left me alone. I was really happy. Nobody really bothered me. I figured I was going to get a whole bunch of, are you going, there's a break going on, get up there and do something.
Oh, they think it's hilarious.
It was just the opposite. They're like, you're not going to do anything, are you?
That's not good. I'm going to go up there and tell them Jesus is a fake, and they're not going to like that.
You've never been in that situation?
Oh, my God, many times.
With family or whatever?
They know better.
Where they look at you like, hey, Jimmy.
Yeah, you want to hear my strap-on material? I didn't think so. Right. Get back to the wedding.
Right.
No, they don't bother me.
Corielli had to talk to an aunt. He's had an aunt there that just got all half in the bag, and he ended up in like a 25-minute, I know Aunt Janet's, while the goddamn show was going on.
It's always the aunt that acts up in families, right?
Yeah.
It's never the uncles so much.
No, most of the uncles are quiet. If they're married to the oppressive, loud aunt, usually they're quiet.
Yeah. I have one uncle that really enjoys a good T-shirt with a saying on it, and he's proud of that. It's not the one. Something like,
really?
you've been a bad girl, go to your room for a spanking or something. He would show up at parties for the
face rods for free.
Almost. I got one of those uncles. He thinks he's a fucking riot when he shows up with his brand new fucking T-shirt.
I have a really funny one I wear sometimes. It says, my other car is a Lamborghini. People laugh so hard when they see that. They're like, oh, it is like that.
So ISIS hacked Twitter and YouTube.
Yeah, for the Pentagon.
For what's the account? CENTCOM?
I don't know, but people knew there were some people who follow the Pentagon thought it was suspicious that they said that we were going to lop a head off. They're like, that doesn't seem like a Pentagon thing to say.
And did they get some addresses and stuff?
Oh, yeah, the general's addresses and stuff, sure.
See, we said this after the Sony hack. We said, look, this is going to be the new thing. It's going to happen to a lot more organizations and companies.
Yep. Yeah.
It took them a long time to get their account back too, like 40 minutes or something like that.
How do you hack how is the Pentagon being hacked by fucking ISIS?
Was it the actual Pentagon?
Really? You would think that they wouldn't have the
better security
ability.
than that.
Right, exactly.
You know, what's their password?
5.
Yeah,
Pentagon, 5.
Of course.
5.
That's the security question, is how they got him.
Right.
Who is the president? You know that.
Obama.
Kenny?
They weren't government computers. It was YouTube and Twitter that they had.
Yeah, their accounts. So.
Yeah,
oh, okay. But you still think they'd have better passwords?
They
though.
should, yeah.
Yeah, they should be changing their passwords every 2 minutes, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Let's just breathe. Nice breath. Yep. Thank you, Kenny. Anyway. So, but the wedding was a success, even though it was New Year's Eve?
I guess so, whatever. Everybody got drunk, nobody got hurt, nobody talked any shit, and everything was fine. My brother, her dad during the rehearsal kept screwing up that, who gives this woman? You're supposed to say her mother and I. And the first time he went, I do! So we chuckled at that, and nothing, nobody.
I've only been to 2 fun weddings. My own, and another one that I couldn't even name. I know I probably enjoyed one other wedding. Most weddings I fucking hate.
I eloped twice. So
did you?
Yeah. I had a good time both times. It was all right.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You took care of everybody by doing that.
The first time was in Carmel and in Northern California.
Did you meet Clint Eastwood?
I certainly did. I helped him clean an ice cream off the sidewalk.
Are you kidding?
No, that's how I got to be mayor.
Oh, I'm so
That's
stupid.
the story. Sorry.
Really?
Yes.
What?
That's the whole thing. That's the whole reason he ran for mayor was because they got all hoity-toity with the littering laws, and someone had spilled an ice cream, and they wrote the guy a ticket. And Clint Eastwood heard about it and said, "We write tickets for somebody spilling ice cream on the streets of Carmel." And the city said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I'll run for mayor and change that stupid ass law." And that's why Clint Eastwood ran for mayor of California.
I didn't know that.
California.
Yeah. That's a good law, too, by the way.
He was never. He was like a fake mayor, too, right?
Well, it's one of exactly.
Okay.
It's one of those things where it's almost a voluntary position, but that was the whole supposed story behind the.
I did not know.
Oh, I can turn back to.
Carmel's gorgeous.
Give me an obscure 1987 fact. I'm right there.
So what happened? You went there and you just eloped?
Yeah, I was meeting a buddy, and my college roommate and I were going to go up there with his now wife, and we were taking my living girlfriend, and we were going to have a wine country weekend. And just at the last minute, we decided to get married. So we looked in the phone book and found a hippie chick named Gail. She came and married us on some cliffs overlooking the ocean, and she read a little John Steinbeck. We got married, went into town, drank a bunch of liquor, and ended up at a blues jam.
Now, how long were you married to her?
9 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was the Robin Williams. Her name was Robin Williams. I'm the comedian. That's the Robin Williams' first wife.
So, wow, 9 years. Fuck it. Were you talking about marriage before that?
We'd been together almost 3 years at that time. Yeah, she was already putting the heat on me by then.
Oh, she was giving it to you.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, well, we'll get the tax.
And then you eloped the second time.
So the second time, she wanted to get married on the beach in Mexico, and I'm like, I'll do that. That sounds fun. So we got married on the beach in Mexico.
Juarez.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't really a beach. They took me in the back of a pharmacia. Gave me a lot of Quaaludes. It was like one of those Olin Mills backdrop. I thought I was in Zihuatanejo, but I was really in Juarez.
Being held for ransom.
How long did that one last?
That one lasted 3 years. So, not as long as the first one.
You're going to dip in for a third?
No, God, no. Shouldn't have dipped in either time. But, I'm glutton for punishment.
So how long were you in Mexico for when you got married?
A week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had a great time. I love Mexico.
Oh, that was the other wedding I enjoyed.
I love Mexico. I have no problem with Mexico.
Stupid me. My brother-in-law did a destination wedding, and he fucking pulled it off. Because we wanted to do that, and we're like, how the fuck do you pull this off with, old relatives and this and that, and people that don't really have, the funds or the means to do it? But he fucking figured it out, and we had a blast. I forgot, but that's the other wedding I enjoyed out of all the other weddings I've been to.
Opie's wedding was amazing. Yours was phenomenal.
We try to make it different just because we know that weddings are horseshit. Yours for people, yeah.
Noam's was great from the Comedy Cellar.
Oh, I heard. I was invited and was out of town. I was going to go to that one. I was going to go to that one.
I interviewed Black Sabbath for 2013. I did Ozzy and Geezer in front of an audience, and it was in that room downtown where Noam had his wedding. I don't know if it's It's the synagogue. It's an awesome old building. It's such a fucking cool place. And I'd say he had the second best wedding I've ever been to.
What did he do to make it fun?
You know, it was just the food was great. It was all comedians. I mean, fucking Modi was a part of it because, you know, Modi the comedian was, I think, studying to be a rabbi. So
he's a cantor. He can sing and he can do Jew shit.
But he's a really dude. Modi is a. Do you know who Modi is?
No, I don't even know the name.
He's a guy who he's a friend for many years. And he goes out and does all these gigs that only I think him and Elon Gold can do. Like they're like really hardcore Jewish gigs,
super Jew gigs.
Yeah, like separated men and women in the room, and Modi knows all the intricacies of what they do.
Oh yeah,
and can make it funny.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
He murders in rooms that I would literally get fucking taken out of in handcuffs.
I'd get taken out for laughing at him, getting taken out in handcuffs. That's how severe.
So he did something with Noam's wedding. I don't remember exactly what he did, but it was just fun, man. It was a great vibe.
Sam, and I'm not just saying it because you're in the room.
Oh, Sam's was a good wedding.
I like Sam's wedding, too. I forgot about that until this very second.
That's right.
I did enjoy your wedding.
Yeah, that was a good wedding.
Thank you.
I felt bad for her, but
if you
somebody's got to say
if you could take the wedding out of the wedding hall, I'm going to have so much more fun. You know what I mean?
Oh, God, yeah.
Find a park, a beach, an old barn, anything.
Sure, yeah.
Have all the same shit, but if it's in a barn, at least, it just feels, different.
Kenny, my friend Kenny that works over on Hits 1 here, Kenny Zimling House, he had a great outdoor upstate in Kingston on the banks of the Hudson. And the same thing was an old barn shed thing.
All that.
A couple of roommates his had a band. He got the band back together, but they're actually a good band. Right. So the food was amazing. Short ribs, party by the Hudson, watch the sun go down. That was a good wedding.
Make it not feel like a wedding.
Yeah, that just felt like a party.
Actually, my sister, I enjoyed a bunch of weddings now. My sister's wedding back in the day, they made it into a party to the point where, like, do they get married?
Right.
There's nothing traditional. It's like, hey, man, we're married and let's just fucking have a party.
Yeah.
And they blew off all that traditional shit and we just partied our asses off.
I want a nice Sunday afternoon wedding. And I want a nice VFW hall after with dancing and food and good fun. Coffee for everyone.
And donuts.
You're going to have like a little DJ spinning, playing Celebration by Kool and the Gang.
I pissed off a lot of people by saying I didn't enjoy a lot of weddings.
Why? You were right, though. They stink.
I'm trying to think of
people
other
in their
weddings.
marriages.
I got to try to think of other weddings I've been to that I can make believe now that I actually enjoyed.
My cousin had a lousy wedding.
He did? Why? What made it a lousy wedding?
It was hers. They did it in, I have a lot of, like, redneck in my family, and they did it out in Kentucky, and it was kind of just an exercise in trying to get, like, they really wanted the gifts to outweigh the money that they spent on the wedding. Like, it was kind of one of those deals.
All right.
And so they had, like, it was literally in a VFW hall, the whole thing. And all they did was they picked up, like, a whole bunch of KFC right before the wedding. And then they brought it, and they just had chicken and a bowl of punch. And that was the buffet.
What absolute white trash.
I would have enjoyed that.
I mean, look, I enjoyed the food
because it's different.
I like chicken,
but it wasn't different. Like, oh, we put some thought into this, and
we
want this to reflect. Yeah, that's what it was.
It was give us money, here's some chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep it moving.
Yeah, we fed. Oh, there was an argument. They got biscuits too.
Biscuits, of course. They come with the chicken.
There was a huge argument.
You have to pay extra.
There was a huge argument before the wedding about butter. They said, no, there's no we are not supplying butter for those biscuits. No, and there was no butter.
Why wouldn't they supply butter?
Because they didn't want to pay
buy anything.
Wow, they're definitely in your family. That's a bloodline thing. Yeah. Fucking skinflints.
Oh, God.
The night before, there was a massive argument over butter.
Sure.
For butter. Are they still married?
Yeah.
It's all right. So they made it past the butter thing.
Yeah.
Good for them. What about the couples that decide stuff like, we're going to have a wedding without alcohol or something? You've been a couple of those over the years, right?
My friend found Jesus and went super Jesus and thought Jesus sent him his wife, and so a couple of us.
Jesus sent him his wife.
He told us. He literally said he literally said he was driving home one day and he's at a low point, and and he just thought to himself, man, if I could just meet a good woman. He looked over and there was a hottie pulling up next to him at a red light. He motioned for her to pull over. And they started talking.
That would get me to believe in Jesus too. So, you know what? If a fucking hot chick on my way home tonight flags me down, I'm going fucking all Christian.
But she was an oppressive Christian hottie, though. She immediately just made him a puppet and took over his whole world.
Fine.
They're married still. They're still married. They got 3. He's a doctor.
He's a doctor and he fucks a hot chick he met.
He had 3 kids.
Christ is okay in my book.
It's okay. But he was a big weed head, and so he asked a couple of us to stand up with him, and we agreed if we could sneak away and get really high that we would be in it. And we're so high, they changed the words of the ceremony to one of those really oppressive, and you will walk 2 steps behind him and stare at the ground and worship him and worship him like a prophet.
Nice.
I'll never forget. Those words were actually in the vows.
The husband?
Yeah, the wife. The wife had to say. So me and my friend are so high, when they showed us the video like 3 years later, instead of just staring ahead and looking at the ceremony, you can see the 2 stoners just turn slowly and start facing each other. And my friend Miles like, what the fuck? When she says, worship him like a prophet.
I like that. Excellent.
Beautiful.
But yeah, we're just in the church basement at Northside Baptist Church, eating some watered down, shitty, horrible, drinking high
It all makes sense now, though. I mean, why stop the beheadings, Jesus? You got to make sure this hot chick is in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah, this guy's got a case of down in the dumps. Let's get him laid forever.
Let's take care of this and not that.
Right. The world needs another chiropractor down the road somewhere.
I'm thinking about getting married.
Are you?
Yeah.
What type of wedding would you have?
Alternative.
I like it. I'll be there.
His eyes got really big on that one.
Yeah, he got very excited. He's visualized this before.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that.
You should get married.
Yeah, I don't know about marriage, but it would be nice to just hang with somebody a little bit.
Colin got married once. I think he did get married.
Yes, I was at the party.
Oh, there you go. You were at the party.
Well, it was an engagement party.
Was it?
That's where I bombed in front of, not even bombed because I wasn't going for a joke.
You got up there and tried to show him how to do it?
No, I didn't.
Sorry.
Oh, it's all good. I met Seinfeld and ran out of things to say after telling him how great that comedian documentary was.
Yeah, there was you've never seen a quicker
and he was
faucet turn off. Yeah.
He was polite to me. It was like, thank you. And then we were just staring at each other, and I realized, oh my God, I have nothing else to say to Seinfeld. And then
sitcom was also good.
Good show, Jer.
And he has no problem walking away from you in mid-sentence.
No, he'll just look at you. Seinfeld will just look at you until you're done.
That was a hell of an engagement party. It was his engagement party, right?
Vinny Pastore was there, big pussy.
Yeah, everyone just roasted Colin, just destroyed him.
That's right. And Colin's, that was when Tough Crowd was on. He smashed all of us but Geraldo because he was fucking like, Geraldo's the only one who fucking prepared for this. He bashed me and fucking, I don't know if Patrice did it, but it was
Seinfeld even did some time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Jerry roasted him too. We did like a Colin roast, and Colin just killed us all for not preparing enough.
Did you prepare?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I forget what I said. I remember one of my dumb jokes because Colin liked trannies. I said something about if he fucks one more tranny, we're going to have to change his name to Colin Queen.
Oh, I remember that joke.
Yeah, it was 2002. So.
Good time.
A long time ago.
Good time.
Or 3. Can't believe that's so many years ago.
Shout out to Louis C.K. Holy fuck.
Third Garden,
you read this news today? He sold Madison Square Garden now for 2 nights. He's going to add a third.
Sweet.
Yeah, he's got the 2 of them are sold out very quickly, too. So I don't know when the third one goes on sale. But I imagine, it'll be very difficult to get tickets for. I'll be scalping them.
He's attempting to...
I called Louis. I'm like, can I have 400 tickets for the early show?
Exactly. I want to section 123. Just give me the entire section. I won't bother you anymore.
He's attempting to become the first comedian to sell out 3 nights at the Garden in the same month on the same tour.
All right.
And this is not an easy time to do it. This is January. The holidays just finished. It's not like this is fucking go out and do a whole bunch of shit time. This is just an odd time to do it.
Right.
Yeah,
that is true.
Gone.
Yeah, no, this is the dead time. Yeah, this is the dead time. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're all done buying shit right now.
Yeah.
Give us a break.
When is this coming up? Like now?
This month.
Oh, sure. Right. Yeah. I think tickets are on sale now for the 3rd show.
Dude, wonder he'll get somebody to open. You're gonna.
I'm guessing. Opie asked me that in the break. I'm thinking Todd Barry works for them a lot. I don't know who else tours with Louis, but I'm honestly not sure.
Todd Barry in Madison Square Garden. That's hilarious.
I think Todd. Todd's got a good pace for that.
I'd love to hear just what I'm saying. I just love to hear that voice.
Why?
Yes. I would love to hear that voice echo through Madison Square Garden. That'd be fucking wonderful.
But he doesn't rush Todd as a performer, which is probably really smart for a building like the Garden because of the echo and stuff. So I think Todd would be perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we got that all solved.
I think gotta give him.
That's pretty good.
Give him his props.
Somewhere William Stevenson around the house going, "Fuck."
Maybe William will open for you.
William's worked with him before. Absolutely.
I want to get Dr. Steve on the phone. There's a big controversy that squirting's bullshit. and Dr. Steve wrote a whole article or did a whole podcast on the thing. Can we get him? I told him we were going to call him either yesterday or today.
Well, he's saying it's just piss, right?
I thought he was saying that it is something else.
Well, I've taken it in
now
the mouth.
I'm confused.
I really have.
Taken it in the mouth.
I've had my mouth squirted in before. There's a girl I used to go down on for many years, and she was like the most prolific squirter. And I'd be eating her pussy, and like I'll never forget. I told the story before. The squirt on the chin would be like, and I would feel it jetting out onto my chin, and it would turn me on so much. And it absolutely was not piss. I know the difference between the smell, and this is when I was in my early 20s, but it was definitely something else, and I knew, unless it's the same thing that becomes piss but is stored somewhere else in the body.
Right.
She was not pissing in my face.
Even though.
Oh, well, that would have also been a home run and well received.
Right.
But I mean, this was something different.
Maybe it is piss that goes through the filters or something.
It can be.
Yeah, maybe.
Some kind of female filter.
There's only so much fluid these pigs have.
With that, we say hi to Dr. Steve.
Good morning, boy.
Hello, Dr. Steve.
Hey, buddy. I told you to call about this pissing/squirting thing.
Yeah.
What happened? Someone else started this online?
No, what happened was Vice.com or one of these websites ran a story saying scientists say squirting is just pee. And it's a known fact that females ejaculate, and it's also a known fact that there's a thing called coital incontinence, where women lose control of their bladders and urinate, and they're two separate things. And so I looked at the study that they did, that this story was based on, and it was the most biased medical study I've ever seen. And what they did was they selected 7 women who have massive eruptions of fluid during intercourse. And of course, those women have what's called coital incontinence. They selected only for women that have urinary incontinence during sex. So then they concluded at the end of this, well, it's urine. Well, of course it was. But what they didn't say in the study, they did say in the study, but they don't say in the news reports, is that 5 out of the 7 women that they all said had the squirting was urine, also had prostatic-specific antigen in their fluid, which means that they ejaculated. So 5 of the 7 women actually ejaculated, because you can't have prostatic fluid in your urine. It had to come from the female prostate.
Okay, so why did they print that? Do you think they just thought it was more interesting to go, oh, it's pee?
Yeah,
Okay.
And it's bad. Well, the study itself is bad science. It said a lot about coital incontinence. It didn't say anything about female ejaculation. And then, of course, the blogosphere picks it up and says, "Ha, women, you're just pissing yourselves." And and then it took it from there. So we did a whole show on this and we're going to do it on. We're going to pick it up again Saturday night on Weird Medicine on this channel, and then our podcast from the 20th of January is pretty much dedicated to this story and just talking about the scientific method and how you test stuff, because they really this study suffered from what's called selection bias, in that they selected only for the outcome they were looking for.
Wow.
So there you go. So female ejaculation is separate from coital incontinence, and around 50% of women ejaculate, and anywhere from 10 to 50 or 40%, depending on the study, have coital incontinence.
Okay. Have you ever taken some squirt on your face, Dr. Steve?
Yeah, of course. Who hasn't?
There you go. Exactly. That's called Tuesday.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Well, thank you. That's interesting.
Some that I'm sure was urine, and some that I know for a fact was ejaculate.
The scent is different. You can just tell it doesn't smell like piss.
It's a cleaner scent.
Yeah, and you can,
it's just fluid.
Just
right?
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can have one or the other or both, and So there you go.
Back in the day, we had Big A take some squirting on his face. Remember that, guys? And was she peeing that day?
That's right.
Because
Probably not. We would have smelled it.
I don't know. It went a long way though.
We had a bullseye on his face.
Yeah, I've seen people. Yeah, I've seen them put out candles.
Well, we put a bullseye in Big A's face.
Right.
Yeah, and this girl.
Big A.
Wow, who's this big star that has a camera crew with them?
Ooh. I don't know.
They're following somebody into Shade 45.
Lady.
We have Tom Arnold coming in about a half hour.
Yeah,
So
I love Tom.
Anything else, Dr. Steve?
No, that's why I'm glad I could be on with Vic Henley and talk about vaginal fluid.
I think that's a nice combination. You guys got good chemistry with this.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
well, I've got a meeting to get into, but thanks for letting me vent on that. That story pisses me off.
Whoa, look at that. Nice.
Good night, everybody.
Nice word usage.
Thank you. Do you know Tom?
Thank you, Dr.
No,
Steve.
I don't know Tom.
Okay.
I heard he was great last time he was in.
Oh, I loved him, man.
I think that was the day I wasn't around.
Yeah, he was a fun guy to talk to.
I heard he was great.
Really interesting guy.
All right, why don't we take a quick break? We got Vic Henley in studio. Tom Arnold coming up in about 15, 20 minutes. And, Vic, what are you promoting again? Atlantic City?
Atlantic City at Caesars this weekend with Ron White. Actually, all weekend. We're Caesars, Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and Wilmington, Delaware. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, tatersalad.com.
We can't separate you two.
Well,
you and Ron White.
These are the only ones I'm doing with him this month, I think. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
And Jimmy's got Tempe, Arizona.
Yeah, Super Bowl weekend, January 30th, 31st, Tempe Improv. And then February 13th, Foxwoods Casino, just one show.
You're a lucky boy, Vic Henley. Oh, no, turn this up. Yeah, I can shut up.
Ah, nice.
I stuck at 11:44 beneath my head.
Boom, 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 boom.
Got up next morning and I grabbed that gun. Took a shot of cocaine and away I run.
So all I had to do back in the day is murder someone, and I could have saw Johnny Cash.
Yes, sir. You could have worked with him.
You know how hard it was to get a Johnny Cash ticket back in the day?
Not if you were in prison.
And these guys got a free show from Johnny Cash 47 years ago today. Folsom Prison.
Yeah, live at Folsom Prison.
Thank you. Live at Folsom Prison, right.
At a time in music where no matter what kind of music, country or not, live album. Nobody does a live album. In a prison, John.
Who was the last artist that got to perform at a prison where people finally said, "Hey, man, this is a little fucked up.
Stop entertaining. Right. Stop entertaining the murderers. Stop. I know.
Johnny Cash goes to this prison. Everyone has a great seat.
Right. Exactly.
Well, what? It was like 2,000 people got to see Johnny Cash.
No, it was probably less than that. It was probably like the greatest 300-seat gig ever.
I need to know who was the last artist or who finally, stepped up to the microphone and said, hey, this is fucked up.
No more prison gigs.
We don't want, we want them to have some rights and stuff, but we don't want them enjoying Johnny Cash.
It's not a private party.
Right. At the prime of his career, too, by the way. You don't even get the old, washed up Johnny Cash.
My favorite part, listening, somewhere in there, June goes, it's good to be back in Folsom. It's my favorite part of the whole album, with full-on enthusiasm. She goes, it's good to be back in Folsom. Just like, good to be back in
Pop-up video should come back.
Oh, God.
And just bubbles. Bloop, double murder.
That's right. Triple life sentence.
He touched 28 kids.
Right, exactly. Pedophile.
Right.
Drove a school bus over a cliff.
Right. Burned his whole family alive. Bloop. We can keep going with this.
I like it.
Oh, someone's got to do that video just for YouTube.
That's
Too bad
funny.
you don't really know.
We just wrote something funny for somebody.
Yeah, I think so. Jimmy was the one that really turned me on to Johnny Cash. I knew the basics.
Yeah, but you got it.
And then I tell this story a lot too. When we were off the air, I followed Jimmy around a lot. He would pick me up, and I would watch him do sets all over the city. And he had those Johnny Cash cassettes. They weren't even CDs yet. I don't think. Yeah. And he turned me on to a bunch of deep tracks from Johnny Cash.
Can't go wrong. My daddy, when I was good and he wasn't beating us, he'd let us stay up late and watch the Johnny Cash show on Sunday.
Hi, I'm Johnny Cash. You got beat?
Oh, sure, of course. But not on Sunday because I wanted to watch Johnny Cash. So I wouldn't be doing no back talking on Sunday. Because I wanted to watch Wild Kingdom Disney and then Johnny Cash.
I want to thank, what a shitty Twitter name, but I'll try to give you a plug today. BWarHolak on Twitter. He found that tweet I was talking about from the college athlete from
Cardale,
earlier.
right?
And it turns out it was Cardale Jones. He tweeted a little while ago, a couple weeks maybe. When was this? It doesn't matter when this tweet was. It was relatively recent. He wrote or tweeted, "Why should we have to go to class if we came here to play football? We ain't come to play school. Classes are pointless."
Hashtag English major. Hashtag English major.
But everyone knows why.
That's wonderful.
Why, But if you're like a third string, I don't know, kicker, do they make that guy go to school at least?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the token white dude has to go just to make up for everybody else.
Yeah, so
it balances out the average. They got to have a certain average.
Something they can at least say.
So exactly, the cumulative GPA of the football team is 3.6. Well, it's all because of Mikey. Right. It's just one dude.
Bruce Springsteen played at Sing Sing in 1972. But Metallica shot the video for, that's right, they shot St. Anger at a prison. I forgot about that.
Did you ever get asked to do a prison gig? There were prison. I started in Arizona for a year and didn't do it, but got asked to do. There was a couple of prison gigs for comedy. I probably would have said no.
No, I'd go to a 12-step meeting in a prison. Some of the guys trying
That's
to.
fine.
But
sure.
A fucking go just to go entertain people who fucking smash old ladies in the head.
Spade did the prison gigs.
Well, that's a little inappropriate, Beck. I mean, okay.
David Spade.
Someone saying the Sex Pistols were the last one to play in front of a prison?
Maybe.
All right, he piqued my interest.
There's got to be.
Let's go to Mike in Virginia. Mikey.
Last band to play in prison is the Sex Pistols in England in Chelmsford Prison in, I think, 1978. And they wouldn't let them do it anymore because Johnny Rotten said, "Hey, faggots, let's start a riot. Let's all fight." Peace out. Love you.
And did they fight?
Yeah, he didn't know he hung up.
All right.
Yeah.
Do we have the answer to this question?
That John.
That John.
Kid.
Well, the last name gives it away. It's not John Pleasant.
What is this list you found, Sam?
This looks like it says it's a
all prison shows
compilation of prison
songs
live
from prison.
albums.
Glenn Shirley is the guy that was at the Folsom concert that Johnny Cash played, then ended up on tour with Johnny. But he's in the audience as a prisoner, wrote a song, got it to Johnny. Johnny sang the song for Glenn Shirley, and then when Glenn Shirley got paroled, put him on the tour with him. And then Glenn Shirley couldn't be straight, fucked all up, did something crazy again, ended up back in prison.
How the fuck do you know that?
I saw Johnny Cash documentary.
What was the name of the song he wrote?
I don't know.
I didn't fuck that little girl.
Just got to make it twangy. As long as you make it twangy, it's okay.
Fuck that little girl who was waiting on the train.
Whole damn thing's a misunderstanding. And I'm never coming back here again.
Yeah, it looks like the Sex Pistols, because that was 1990.
Chelmsford.
They played Chelmsford. Top security prison. And that was 1990.
Yeah.
So it's just the two of them that are alive then. It's Steve Jones and...
That sounds about right. Where they had to shut down the awesome concerts for the inmates.
Right,
holy
take
fuck!
Out the arts program.
Even as a kid, I'm like,
right, exactly.
Looking at this Johnny Cash thing, thinking this is pretty fucked up. Didn't they do bad? Why are they bad?
Right.
Well, it was recorded in '76.
Okay,
the album was released in 1990.
Oh wow, they sat on it.
Yeah, I guess
seriously.
So.
They didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, so it was recorded in '76.
How many Sex Pistols are alive? There's Steve Jones, Johnny Rotten.
Man, Sid's dead, and I don't know who the other guy is.
We had.
I should know that. Steve Jones is awesome.
Yeah, I've done he had an independent radio show out in California.
He's good,
his show's great out there.
It was fun, man. Yeah,
I haven't listened to it in a long time. But
we talked about Craigslist the whole time. He was awesome.
He's a very good broadcaster.
My buddy had the old. He's so clueless on music. When John Lydon was playing with Public Image Limited, he's just hammered at the bar talking to him for 2 hours out in Aspen. Doesn't know. And Johnny Rotten keeps talking to him because my friend doesn't know. And he's like, "Where'd you get that ring?" And he goes, "Oh, it's who I work for." He's wearing a PIL ring. Public Image Limited. He walks away at the bar. walked there and goes, you know who we were just talking to? And he's like, my friend's like, no. He's like, it's fucking John Lydon.
Oh, wow. That lady finally cashed the check, the $975 million check.
Good.
You heard this story?
No.
Getting a divorce. What was he, an oil tycoon or something?
I think he's worth about $18 billion.
He's worth about $18 billion. He gets divorced, so he offers his ex $975 million, and she had announced to the world that it wasn't enough.
That's not enough.
She had announced to the world.
900. Wow.
So in protest, she has finally cashed the $975 million.
Not because she wants the money in protest.
Oh no, she's fighting for more still.
She's not going to spend any of this $975.
$975 million wasn't good enough.
Just cashing right now.
First thing I'd do is go out and buy a big hat.
Right. No money.
Yeah. No, just a big hat.
Yeah, here it is. Hat. She cashed the $975 million check, but vows to appeal.
What a cunt.
Right, exactly. This is right. You put the C in the C word, baby.
How long were they married for, and what did she do to contribute besides fucking getting fucked?
Well, her name's Sue Ann. Sue Ann, who's 26-year marriage.
26 years.
That's a long time.
Presumably ended when she cashed her ex-husband's outsized check on January 5th. Still wants a bigger piece of hams. It's $8.1 billion.
Hey, only 8. Oh, she's going crazy.
So she got a bill.
Where does she live?
She's not happy with almost 10% of his fucking
I was going to say, this is Texas somewhere. It's got to be Sue Ann.
Probably
Texas.
a little more than 10%. Yeah, a little more than 10% she got. She's not happy with
right.
it. Never mind that's down from $18.7 billion that Forbes estimated him had in May.
Oh, so he's $10 million down himself.
Well, maybe he's learned how to, fudge in the numbers.
Thanks to cratering oil prices.
Oh, right.
So this guy was worth 18 mil. Now he's only worth 8 because
$100 down to $40. Perfect.
Imagine losing $10 billion in a year.
Right, exactly.
We're all enjoying lower gas prices.
$1.89,
and the airlines are dropping all their prices.
Oh, they really?
No.
You got me. I was like, ooh, I'm going to book a trip.
No, me too. He got me too.
Excited.
Both of us were like, what?
Son of a bitch.
Norton with the fact.
Wow, this poor guy, though, he lost $10 billion because we got cheaper gas now. It's only worth $8 billion.
$975.
I would even take that 0.1 out of his billion. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's worth 8.1.
Right, exactly.
Can I have the 0.1, please? The reversal of fortune prompted himself to appeal the settlement made public in November as erroneous and inequitable. His ex-wife feels the same way, only about her settlement, and referred to her freshly cashed check as a small portion of the estate that we built.
Sure.
Over 2
he was
decades.
out of work.
Right. I made sure fresh flowers were on that table every day.
Absolutely.
Every day, those dog bowls were clean. I told Consuelo, clean those dog bowls, goddammit, and put those...
And when he wanted to fuck, he fucked.
Wow. She's very hateable.
It is. It's horrible. It's all these goddamn housewives women. They're lucky that only gay men watch those shows.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So that's the update on that. I guess by cashing the check, now she can't appeal or something. Even though she's saying that she's going to try to get more money from the guy.
Anna Nicole.
Yeah. What happened with Crayola's Facebook page? It sounded like a little Jocktober action went on.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they did something with the... I don't know exactly. I know the paper said that it was blue humor.
Crayola apologizes after hackers post not safe for work pics to kid-friendly Facebook page.
Why are they apologizing? They didn't do it. Sorry we were a victim of a crime?
Yes, right. Exactly.
This is one of our favorite things to do.
I know.
Well, we do it to radio shows. Visitors to the Crayola Facebook page, we're seeing brick red. Get it?
Uh-huh.
Seeing brick red.
It's a good color. They were angry.
You got it, right?
I do.
You understand that the joke there?
Absolutely.
They're feeling melancholy blue after seeing brick red.
That's true. They're shitting burnt sienna.
There you go.
Oh, sorry. There was more to the joke.
Uh-oh.
We're seeing brick red or perhaps blushing in shades of carnation pink.
Oh.
On Sunday, when they realized that some no good nicks. No good nicks?
No good nicks.
No good nicks.
I never heard that word in my whole damn life.
Yeah, like a no good nick.
Right.
I know what it means, but no good nicks had taken over the account and decided to have a laugh by juvenile but not kid-friendly updates for the Crown Company's 2.45 million fans to see. So what are they Jocktobered him, right?
They Jocktobered him, but they hacked into it So instead of just putting terrible posts on the page, they were posting terrible things as them. So
Can I say this? Who the fuck is a fan of a crayon Facebook page? Like, I love when all these people like TGI Fridays follow us on Twitter. Why? What are you going to say?
Unless you're giving free shit out, why would anyone follow you?
Right, that's it. It's only just to get the coupon. That's the only reason.
I want to follow you on Twitter.
Right. Had some good wings today.
You want to hear the apology from the Crayola people when they realized their Facebook page was hacked?
Yeah.
They wrote this post. Our sincere apologies to our Facebook community for the inappropriate and offensive posts you may have seen here. Crayola, a division of Hallmark, eventually posted once it was able to wrestle control back. Please be assured the official Crayola page has been restored. We can't thank our fans enough for the feedback and support we received while working to resolve the issue. You truly are the best, and we look forward to an exciting and creative 2015. Look forward to an exciting and creative 2015.
Yeah, making more colors for you to ruin your fucking parents' furniture with.
Exactly. To stomp into the carpet at your house.
That sounds like the most boring company to work for. Every once in a while, they decide to change the name of one of their colors. Who gives a fuck?
That statement got 4,355 likes.
Oh, God. What's wrong with
Thumbs
people?
up. 56.
4,000
kid
people
here.
have that much free time.
I'm a big Crayola fan. I like Crayola appropriate humor.
Can you still post to their page?
Oh, yeah.
I just wondered if you could post to their page.
Oh, yeah. It says, post to the page.
You know, people post good things about Crayola crayons.
They didn't block it?
No, fans can still post it.
No phases?
No. Everything's fine.
You know, when we do Jocktober, you tell me phase 1?
Yeah.
It's all good, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't want inappropriate things posted on a page like that.
No, don't do that.
Don't make up colors that are inappropriate.
No.
They're a big company.
Exactly.
They're a good company.
Brown Star Tan.
But you would think if they're still in the news with this that they might have taken out a few of the phases. What's phase 1, Sam?
Phase 1 is the public wall is closed, so only they are posting. You can't post on their wall, but you can leave comments. That's phase 1.
So they should have been in phase 1.
I mean,
for
just
a couple days
just
until it
to
all
be on
calms
the
down.
safe side, I would go on phase 1 at least. Phase 2, also cutting off comments on posts.
Right.
That might be wise.
You think they're going to monitor?
Monitor?
Yeah, that's how I say it. I say it wrong.
No, I like how you say it.
But that's not the pronunciation.
Are they going to monitor their page?
He does that sometimes.
I mean, I think so, but that's not how you say that word.
You've seen him do
Sure,
this.
there's page.
He did this with Santa Claus. It was fun.
yeah.
It was Santa.
Santa.
It was
Nick Foley had to put up with the entire interview with you saying Santa.
Yes, it was wonderful.
He had to put up with a lot that day.
Yeah, he was not
Santa and Vic Henley.
And me chewing his ass out about doing too much
Not letting
time.
it go.
Yeah, and he has not forgiven Vic Henley about that.
Oh, really?
That bug that really did affect him. It hurt his feelings.
Good. I hope he learned a lesson.
He just needs to
do his time.
Do his time.
So
Get
you
off
gotta
that
do your
stage.
time, right?
Where's Tom Arnold?
5 minutes.
You just said that.
I didn't just say that.
You just said 5 minutes. What is?
I didn't say somebody else.
Roland said 5 minutes. What is he promoting?
Big Redneck CMT something.
Yeah.
Yep. It's on Country season 2 premieres this Saturday at 9. That's a tough time for a show to be on, I guess, but I guess it's working. My Big Redneck. Oh, it's the host of My Big Redneck Family. It follows the Clampett family's everyday activities as well as their parenting misadventures. I don't know if it's a reality show or a mock reality show or.
Yeah, we'll find out. Tom Arnold's a great guest.
Yes, he is.
Vic, what else is going on with you? Did we cover everything since last time?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I was. Nothing. I fucked with some religious leaders.
Why?
Just because I happened to be in a church and I never was. At the wedding, the priest that married my niece, he quoted O. Henry, the author, and so I went up to him at the reception and said something. I tried to have some literary conversation with him, and he acted like he didn't know. I'm like, you're going to throw out O. Henry, and you really don't know anything. You just got the quote out of a book, and
I don't know O. Henry.
He's just it's the father of the American short story. So anyway,
yeah, right.
So anyway, the priest quoted him, and so it was too many get Vic away from the drunk priest kind of thing. I kept wandering over, challenging them, and anger. Well, if you're at a service, I'm going to talk to the guy in the fancy hat and robe.
Why are you challenging the priest?
Because I was drunk and bored, and he's wearing a big suit that says "fuck with me." He's wearing a shiny collar and a hat. He's walking around with a scepter. You know, you don't get a lot of that.
Okay.
I went to a christening on a Sunday in a Catholic church, because my girlfriend made me. And then I ended up at an Episcopalian wedding in the same week.
Wow.
So I kind of think I went to a birth and a death.
Wow.
At the same time, I'm not really sure, but it was completely weird. The priest gave me the host accidentally in the Catholic church, and I ate it, and they all got mad at me.
Why?
What are you supposed to do?
No, I'm not Catholic. I don't know, but he comes out, and he's given to the people who are in wheelchairs and stuff. He walks out because they can't get in line to get the host. So I'm on the front row. So he comes out to serve them, and he walks by me, and he goes, well, I might as well get you while I'm walking by. And he hands me the host, and I eat it, and everybody on my row who's Catholic looks at me like, you fucker, you're not supposed to eat that. And I'm like, why not? He gave it to me.
I don't care who eats the host.
No, exactly. I've had every unleavened cracker version of, matzah. The Baptists have a shitty cracker. Everybody's got a cracker.
And even if you're a Catholic, you have to go to confession before you have it, or see your body is pure. Oh, it's just a shit.
Well, it was just fun. He told a story about his dad, and I think he got all touching about it. And at the end of the service, I came out of the bathroom. It was just me and him, and he's like 81.
Yeah.
And I went, hey, I thought that was cute, that story you told about your dad. And he went, where are my keys? He literally just gave me the old dude thing. Didn't listen to anything I said at all and couldn't find his keys.
I got to pee so bad.
2 minutes, and then talk to Tom Arnold.
By the time we're done with Tom Arnold, I'm going to fucking piss my pants.
Great radio.
All right.
Absolutely.
The host thing. So it comes from a factory. They just stamp out those things all day long.
Don't nuns make them though? I've seen something on that. I literally think that nuns do that.
I think they throw a few nuns in the factory, so like, look, there's some kind of connection here. But in the end, it's just some big vat of fucking ingredients, and then they stamp them out. And then what happens? The priest does some mumbo jumbo, and then all of a sudden this thing is special, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Right. They sprinkle a little water on the head, and then all
of a sudden this thing that just came from a factory that's just nonsense is now this miracle food or something.
And the wine looked weird too. The wine wasn't red or white. It was some sort of weird ass in between color wine.
Body of Christ.
Not many churches do the wine anymore.
Yeah, and they're sharing the cup. I'm like, it's cold in flu season. It's cold in flu season. There's a line of droolers, and this was like an inner city hardcore church.
They got that really rag weird thing that just wipes the.
Do they wipe it?
They wipe it quickly with the same rag over and over again. That cleans it though.
That's fine.
Disgusting. Just people are such fucking morons.
I was sitting there going, really? And they don't wipe it after everybody. It's only after it gets a little sloppy, then they'll wipe it and then keep going.
But if it's magical food and magical wine, of course, then you got to assume you're not going to get the flu from
absolutely.
The wine kills any germs.
That came before you, right?
The blood of Christ is all healing.
Sure.
Right, exactly.
And this guy said it's the blood, so it's the blood.
It's got to be the blood.
You're not an idiot if you buy that at all.
The old dude that can't find his keys.
Even though you got a nun that's, shopping for the wine. Getting the best price for the wine.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking in a BJ's.
Right. It's some old box of wine somewhere.
They had an unplugged, bluegrass band in front of this Catholic church. They literally, I'd never seen that. I walked in, and they're all just in blue jeans and hoodies, and one dude's holding the big doghouse bass, and another guy had a mandolin, and I'm like, there's a bluegrass band at the Catholic church? They're like, we're very progressive here. Father Mark's very progressive.
Good.
What's a doghouse bass?
The big old...
big, huge...
That's the official name of it?
In Hillbilly Land, that's what
Oh, okay.
Johnny Cash would call it a doghouse band.
Johnny Cash.
Everybody knows who he is. We know. What are you, OCD? That fucking intro.
Hi, I'm Johnny Cash. We know. It's right.
You know who you are. It's on the ticket.
Right.
Hi, I'm Johnny Cash.
Hi.
We got it.
Hello. I'm Johnny Cash.
We know. Fucking his obsessive Tourette's fucking. Why would you say the same thing?
Why did he say it the first time? And then someone said, wow, that kind of works. Why don't you do that every time?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Johnny. Yeah, all right. Tom Arnold.
No, it's just Sam Roberts.
What
happened?
Coming in now in case.
I'm going to have to leave halfway through for a quick pee. I hope you don't mind.
Here we go.
Okay. Oh, God. Tom,
sorry, buddy. Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold.
Where should I go?
Where do you want to sit? Right there? What's up, Tom?
How you doing?
How are you, buddy?
How's it going?
We're doing it. We're just shooting the shit. We're killing it, right?
You're doing it.
We're great.
Yeah. And is this on? Are you videotaping it? I watch a lot of your clips on
on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Which ones do you like?
There's a whole bunch of different actors in here, and when the interview thing was going down, that movie, and you guys addressed that.
Yeah.
Just if I want to, I'll see the list of people you guys got, and I'll go.
Right.
I'd rather watch that also than I like listening, but if you could see the body language for people is kind of cool.
Well, we're videotaping right now.
Yeah.
Say something crazy
Outrageous.
so it could go viral.
Help me.
We'll give you a few minutes.
Just outrageous.
Because we know
Yeah.
how to edit, too. So just,
That's true.
When you're feeling it, then you look
just
at that
say I
camera.
said it. Yeah. Wherever you want.
You look amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Fuck.
Thank you. I have this sweater on. My wife told me to wear it. I think I'm allergic to it, but I'm not going to take it off. I will just crumble.
How are you allergic to a sweater?
Is it wool? That's how.
You're allergic to wool?
Yes.
Doesn't feel like wool.
So take it off.
Well, maybe no, because then it works. Maybe it's psychological.
Okay. Maybe there's too much something in your shirt, which is making you. Could be something in the starch of the shirt.
That could be.
I have very delicate skin, very sensitive.
I had an allergic reaction last night there, sir. So I got my eye is almost completely, back to normal. I had to take Benadryl and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know what it was from.
Well, but you feel you have to tell people that when they see you because your eyes are a little swollen.
Yeah, because it's
right. You don't want people to think you're weird.
Get it?
Yeah, I get it 100%. 100%.
How did you lose all the weight?
I stopped when I had my kid. I stopped eating gluten and sugar, and that's it. And I work out. I do a lot of cardio, but and I don't have to be gluten free, but just the idea of I can't eat this loaf of bread before my lunch because it's not gluten free slows me down. Right. Like I needed some boundaries because my eating is just like anything else I ever did. It's on.
Right.
And so if I could get some limitations and boundaries, I still eat a ton of food, and but I have to think: is there sugar there or gluten? Okay, I won't eat that.
Were you addicted to food for a while?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think sugar for sure is my original addiction from childhood, and but when you get it down to just food, you're like, fuck, nobody's gonna tell me what to eat.
Right.
No woman. But then you have a baby, and you're like, oh my god, I'm old, and now I'm super fat. I can only be one of those. So for his sake, How
old's your kid?
He's 21 months.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. First kid.
Right.
Took a long time.
Really?
Good, yeah.
First kid ever? No.
Yes, tried for many
that you
years.
know of.
Tom Johnny Cash.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
What's your name?
I would have been happy.
What's his name?
His name is Jax.
JX.
Yeah.
JX.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
My dad's name is Jack. I wanted to honor him, but not too much.
Right.
Yeah.
And then on Sons of Anarchy, the main character on Sons of Anarchy, which I was on is Jax. And so I called Kurt Sutter, the head writer. I said, I'm thinking about naming my son Jax, but I know that your main guy's name is Jax. Would that be weird? And he's like, I'd be honored. So Kurt thinks it's named after his guy. Dax Shepard thinks he's named after him.
Right.
So my dad, I got 3 guys that if I have a heart attack, they'll take over. Like, that kid's named after me.
Yeah,
I got to support him.
That's good.
Yeah, try to build up some kind of insurance policy.
Right. I should introduce you to Vic Henley, by the way.
Hey, buddy.
Very funny
How are you, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Auburn?
It is an Auburn, yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is that bad?
No, it's good.
No, a lot of people don't recognize the Auburn colors.
Yeah.
Very good,
He
Tom.
loves Auburn.
Well, he works in redneck world, so
Yeah, I
he's
do.
qualified. He is.
I
He's
do.
from Iowa, but he is white
I've been
trash.
to many a football game down there.
He went to school at Barkley.
No, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's
He
a nice
says
guy.
he says they're friends. I don't really truly believe it, but
My ex, Robin, claims that she worked in the house for you and Roseanne back in the 80s.
Robin.
Her name was Robin Williams. You would remember that.
Yeah.
Somebody named Robin Williams. But
Yeah.
she was at UCLA at the time and claimed
Oh, that could very well be.
that she was in and out of there.
Yeah.
Right on the crossover when it's all going wrong.
Right.
wait,
That could very well be.
she worked in the house?
She got it. Yeah, she got it off the job board at UCLA.
Wow.
And exactly. She came in one day. She's like, I believe these are some of Tom Arnold's ties. Roseanne's throwing his shit in the yard.
In the pool. She threw in the pool.
In the pool, right?
Always.
Right.
Always in the
Exactly.
friggin' pool.
No. And I had two ties that supposedly were from that day. I never knew.
She
But
killed my fish, too. I mean, that's why. You can throw my wardrobe in the pool. Don't kill my fish. Like a woman, the stuff they think about doing to you is.
Yeah.
You would find your shit in the pool?
Right. It's horrible. Yeah.
And it wasn't floating.
No, and she had a big party to celebrate this.
There were trucks, like Entertainment Tonight. The trucks were out front. She was opening the windows, having a big show, having a big spectacle.
What had you
about
done?
it. You know.
It was we were getting a divorce.
Yeah,
Okay.
Didn't like it.
Yeah.
Mad.
What was the one thing you had to dive to the bottom of the pool to retrieve?
Well,
that you really wanted back?
I mean, all my suits were in there. Like, there's no recovering that stuff.
Armani.
You know?
No, really, like, nice.
So I was like, you're going to have to pay for this. I just want you to know. Feel free to destroy stuff.
Right. She brought in the landscapers and gave some of it away first. She brought in so there were some well-dressed guys.
She's not the first woman that's thrown my stuff out. I mean, it's kind of a theme. thing. You're like, okay, here we go.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
What did your other women throw stuff out for?
Just a bad, off doing comedy, doing drugs. Come home, there's drugs all over their car, which I just borrowed.
Oh,
throw my shit out.
Yeah,
that's how.
What did you lose that was valuable? Like, what did you lose that you're like, oh fuck, anything but that? Was there anything
really hurt?
Yeah.
Like suits, you're like,
well, I had to.
Killing the fish.
She thought the fish were a big thing. But then you had, like, my Golden Globe that I had to have asked them for another Golden Globe because it was tainted. But,
how was it tainted?
It was just because it was in the pool and she tainted on it big. But the fact she had a party and all these women, and I remember coming home and she didn't know I was upstairs, and I could see her having this party, and the women are naked. Like, I don't know if it was some kind of witch's covenant or something. Like, she was she's been open about it. She's a witch, Wicca, whatever.
Right.
And she would always, I never told me this, but she would always talk about that and putting a spell, and she had a doll after we got divorced, and she would do stuff to this doll to hurt me. And
did it work?
No, it didn't. But I think you have to believe in it.
Yeah.
But there was at one point where we were having this mediation, and I said, I learned what to say if I'm a warlock or whatever to scare her because I did some research. I said, I've come for you. And she was fucking freaked out because she buys into it. I knew you say, I have come for you. And I saw her eyes like, oh my God, he really is the devil.
I've said that on the phone so many times.
Didn't know you were terrifying.
But that's all it takes. You just need to know to say that, and you can.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
It was
That's
good.
perfect, yeah.
And they have to be a little wacky.
Yeah.
To buy into that,
Uh-huh.
And, I think under stress, she was a little wacky.
Did you get another Golden Globe?
I did.
It's funny that you have to call up the Golden Globe.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Hey.
What'd you win for?
For producing Roseanne.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Okay. All
Very
right.
cool.
Or
What color did the old one turn?
It was weird because they kind of changed the design, so I got to know. It was green. I didn't go out and get my clothes out of the pool for quite a while. Like, I'm like, forget that. I'm not going to. But by the time I did, stuff had corroded and, my belts were all funky.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't, whatever.
Do you miss that turmoil?
No,
not at all.
Right.
No. And it went on for kind of years after, where I remember I was shooting a show on our old lot there where Roseanne is, MTM CBS, and I was doing this show, maybe the Lawrence Brothers show, those kids, and all of a sudden they said, here's a rewrite, and it was all just nasty stuff about Arnold Schwarzenegger is a Nazi. These are the words I was supposed to say, and whatever, and I realized, she had her writers rewrite the script to can I swear on this show? To fuck with me.
Oh, God.
She went, and then I found out from several of the writers she did, and some of them wouldn't do it because they're guys I had brought in from the Midwest. But, I mean, that's how crazy. And it continued, tried to fuck with my car, whatever. And, but it was.
Did you not say that stuff?
What? No, I didn't. Well, I said that. I showed it to Arnold. He's like, I will fucking destroy her. But I mean, it was like very obvious. And there was filthy stuff. And the Lawrence brothers were young.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is so inappropriate.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Yeah. So when they had the roast of Roseanne, my publicist, of course, remembers each of those things. I don't remember them. I move on. I only think of the good things, if anything, any past relationship, because I can't carry that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I've made so many mistakes. So they're like, well, what about the time she did this, and kind of brought it up again. I was like, well, we'll have to overlook that. Your
publicist was kind of like, just giving you might not want to do this.
She's like, over my dead body.
Oh, she said no.
Yeah.
Well, and
she cares about me. She's like a sister to me. So.
What, Roseanne left you a voicemail to kind of get you to do it?
She had the producer, Joel Gallen. It started with him calling. My phone rang and it was him. And he's like, "Oh, who's this?" I go, "It's Tom Arnold." He goes, "I accidentally called you." Oh, by the way, now that I have you on the line, I'm producing. Would you be interested? And then it got down to the moment, and he called. She wants to talk to you, and I said, "Tell me what she's going to ask me to do." And he said, "Why?" I said, "Because if it goes sideways, it's going to go sideways, and then I'll never do the special." So he called back. She wants you to dress up like a waiter, serve her a drink in the middle of the show, not engage with her at all. And I was like, I'm not going to do a fucking roast where I dress up as a waiter.
Right.
Not engage with you. People would be pissed. And I would have said that, and she would have been like, fuck you. No, fuck you. And then I would never have done it. So run that shit by me.
So what happened? So they ran it by you, and then you said no, but I will go out there and say something.
No, I said no, and then the next day they're like, okay. And it's getting close to showtime. Halfway through the show, you come out, you make fun of the people that have made fun of you on the dais. You turn to Roseanne, do a fist bump, and then leave. And I go, so I don't address her at all at a roast for her? And they go, no, it's amazing. I go, that's a terrible idea.
Right.
I'm not doing
exactly.
it. And then the day before, they're like, whatever you want to do, you can do anything you want.
Right. They're begging it, right?
Why did they not want you to address her? Was that her idea?
I think she was trying to skirt out of, but then they were like, the day before, they're like, whatever. I go, I want a private jet to take me to Nashville because I have to shoot in Nashville on Sunday morning. I want X amount of money. They're like, whatever you want. And then we had to call the lawyer and say, is it possible for me to be in the same room with her? We have these restraining orders, and every joke we do about each other, it's $100,000 if she talks about my penis or I talk about her vagina, because it's a very complicated divorce thing. So the lawyers had to stay up all night with the Viacom people so we could be in the same room technically. And then the last thing, it was like, shit, I don't have any jokes. I told you to ask me way in advance because I did the Joan Rivers roast and I wasn't funny and I just did the jokes they had for me. And I said, I'm not going to put myself in that position again. I'm going to, and then it's the day of the show and I go, I have no jokes. And I just grabbed a pen and wrote 18 jokes that had always been in the back of my mind in case this happened.
Yeah.
Over the years. Every year I think of one more. So it worked out.
And did you guys talk at all after?
We did. I was so scared, and nobody knew for sure I was coming until I was there. And as soon as I got done with my last thing, I didn't know what other people did. Did they hug her? So I kind of turned around and we have this awkward hug, and then I go backstage, take my mic off to get out of there because it went pretty well, and I didn't want to fuck it up before it. And she came back there and said, I just want to tell you how much this means to me, and it's good to bury the hatchet. And that was really nice. And then they said, can we please get a picture of you two together? And she says, yes, but I need to use the restroom first. And then I hear that, and I'm like, well, then I'm out of here. Because if she really wanted a picture, I was telling my wife,
of course,
she would take a picture, and my wife's like, you're an idiot. No woman would take a picture of her ex-husband without looking at herself in the mirror to make sure. I never thought of that.
She went to Brim. No, I'm stupid too. That's why I'm stupid too.
Did you take the picture?
No, I was gone by then.
Because you thought she was blowing you off more.
Yeah,
it turns out she was getting ready for the picture.
Yeah, right. That's how. But I did the show. So
was that the last time you talked to her?
Not the last time we talked, but we had a Twitter thing after that where I tweeted, "Oh, I'm cleaning out my garage. Hope Goodwill can sell these wedding videos and phone remote controls, whatever." Just an innocuous thing, and then she wrote back immediately, "Those my fucking kids are in those." I wrote back, "How do you know those are the wedding videos? I've been married 4 times." And then thinking she would get the joke of it.
Right.
It's a lame joke, but it went back and forth, and building, and people are taking sides, because it's public. And she finally got that it was a joke. And then she's like, how's your kid? He looks beautiful. I was like, oh, that's nice. So we ended it there. It was a whole bunch of shit. And then one nice moment. I said, well, that's where we end. And then she was writing a script at midnight on a Sunday. I'm in bed with my wife. I get a text, "Are you awake?" And I write back, "What's up? I need a third act for the script. I have to turn it in tomorrow morning." I asked my wife, "Can I help? Can I go downstairs and help her with this? Over the email or whatever you call it?" And she's like, "Yeah." And it was really good because it reminded me of the 80s when we wrote together and we were like just pals. And then the next morning I wrote, "Did you turn it in?" She said, "Yeah. I just want to tell you, all your ideas, I already had those, so don't."
There'll be no money.
I wasn't going to take credit.
No, right.
I wasn't going to. It just felt good to be doing something positive with my old friend,
Yeah. So you could get past the ugly divorce to work together like that. That's pretty impressive.
Well,
as an outsider, you two together were just so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Well, it was, honestly, because we met when I was 23 and she was 30 and she just started comedy and I just started comedy. She hadn't even been on Carson yet, and it was fun. I knew she was so talented. Like, I was like, this woman is amazing, hilarious. And the fact that she liked me and thought I was funny, I mean, as a guy, there you go. Mm-hmm. People are like, well, what did you see in her? I go, well, she's very talented, she's funny, and she really liked me. And that's about, I'm from Iowa. You get that, you got everything.
You're good.
So when it was time, she's like, I think we should be a couple. nobody else likes us. I think we should be couples. Like, oh, that makes sense.
Nobody else likes us.
So we might as well. Right. And so for 3 years, but the first 3 years of marriage, I thought, well, this is going to be forever. This is going to be, and then things just started unraveling.
Yeah.
It got so crazy, public versus private, and it was like.
How long did you guys have before it really started getting nuts? A year or two?
It was nuts to the outside world, I think, right away, because, she brought me in to the show basically as her bodyguard, like to fire the people that were fucking with her. And it was her show. She created it. I was like, these guys are fucking with her. That's ridiculous.
How were they fucking with her?
Well, they took creative by credit on her show, which is called Roseanne, about her life. And they wouldn't respect her. And so I had to clear out all those writers, bring in a bunch of comics, teach them how to write the script form, and, rebuild everything.
Oh, you got guys that weren't even like professional writers, just guys who were funny comedians.
Right.
Oh,
well, Norm MacDonald, I don't think it ever written the script, and there's a whole bunch of guys that are like, oh, he's got a point of view, he's hilarious. Anybody could figure out the form of writing a script. Not everybody could be funny. So I had at least 10 guys. A lot of them came from the Midwest, wherever, and then I allowed the other executive producer to bring in some old Hollywood hands.
Were some just kind of like punch-up guys almost. Like if you have a form and you have an idea for the script, let them just punch it up and write in funny dialogue.
Yeah. So, some of the Denver stand-ups, guys, some of those old crew always.
Matt Berry and
absolutely, Matt Berry. Sure. I love Ed Yeager.
Wow. Yeah, and there's a bunch of Minneapolis and Denver.
Did she get created by Beck?
No.
How do they take that away? How does anybody take it?
You lose it in the first negotiation and you just never get it back.
Right, someone was not looking out for her. So she was pissed from day one, let me just say. And I just was like, well, I'm on her side 100%. So that's immediately how I went into that. And people were like freaked out. They're like, this guy who's a former meatpacker is up here in the writer's room saying he's going to kick everybody's ass. I guess we're going to have to try to work with. And then the show became a hit, and she had all the power, which I don't know if people have these days like that. But
But she made money from the syndication. She didn't.
Oh my God, she made a lot of money.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
She made a couple $100 million, I bet.
That's good. Like I hate to hear people getting fucked on their syndication deals.
She did well.
She got her money.
Yeah. I got no money. People, every time there's a celebrity divorce, they have this list of Tiger Woods' wife got $300 million, Mel Gibson's wife got $200 million, Tom Arnold got $50 million from Roseanne Barr. It's public record, our divorce deal. I got nothing. Because I could have, and I regret it every fucking day. But, I was thinking, this is going to look bad. This is whatever. That's her show. I've got this movie, The Stupid's, coming out. It's going to be a huge hit. So...
You look back and go, you probably should have recalculated.
Yeah. I think that, but it's fine.
You really got nothing.
Nothing. I took not a cent, no alimony, no, I mean, we had a couple of houses. We had 2 houses side by side in Brentwood. That's how we were going to make the marriage work. We lived side by side. And then we had this giant Iowa farm. She was like, you get the Iowa farm. I'll take the 2 houses in Brentwood. I was like, how about I take the house in Brentwood, you get the fucking Iowa farm, which is worth about $2. And then, so we ended up donating the farm to my old college, and we each took a house. So, I mean, it was, I had a lot of amazing experiences, and very grateful to her.
Did you guys live side by side, or you sold it right away?
You sold it right away. I think she actually moved in for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I moved. That would have been
too much.
Yeah.
When did you meet Pac? You actually worked in one like in Rocky, like one of those.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it was a pork slaughterhouse. We slaughtered 5,000 pigs a day.
Did you see the documentary? What's it called on pig? There's something about the way they beat the pigs.
Yeah.
And all that. Was it really like that?
Yeah. I mean, there's always a couple guys that are like way into brutalizing. Yeah. And we try to get rid of them, but you can see in their eyes, they're like, I like fucking around with these animals. Yeah, they're sadistic. I think when you grow up in Iowa, you're very grateful about animals, and you look at the process, and you don't have to be mean to them or whatever, but some guys are sadistic.
How long did it take you to get used to? Because I couldn't do it, but I mean, it is a way of life. Yeah. How long did it take you to get used to, these little cute things to okay, this is just a commodity. We have to do this.
They all had to weigh 250 pounds, so I know they're raised to a certain exact thing, and that when that happened, it's time to, to go to the next thing. I don't think you ever really get used to it if you think about it a lot. Because one of my nickname was Gunner, and like if a pig got loose or they had a broken leg, I had a bolt gun, and I would shoot them behind the ear, and they would die, and then hang them up backwards, cut their throat. And one time, it was almost lunchtime, there were 6 hogs with broken legs. If they have a broken leg, they can't walk off the chute and get electrocuted, which is the humane way to do it. So I shot all 6 of them, and then I went to lunch, and I thought I'll hang them up when I get back, and the government guy condemned them, so the meat was bad, so I got a strike on my thing, and then I became gunner. Because you're supposed to do one at a time. But it is, I also looked around there and I was like, how do people work here for 50 years like my grandpa? And he had a family. So the people with families, you could work wherever if you got a family. You'll do, but I didn't have a family. I was young. I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you killed one? And
yeah.
How did you feel?
I mean, it's such a, you've got to tell yourself this is part of the process. This is part of, I mean, it's very, you have to take the humanity out of it.
Right. What if
although I will say this, if they have a broken leg, you see the bone sticking out, you're like, that fucking hurts, I'm going to put this, because they just drop.
My point, I mean, where you have to finally step over that line, like people tell you how to handle it and stuff, but then you're finally doing it for the first time.
Well, I mean, there's a couple other men there that I thought about, if I take this bull gut up to the back of their fucking head, the foreman, and that's way over the line. But I did go over we had once in a while, all the hogs were exactly the same that they brought in. Once in a while, a farmer would bring in a wild boar that had been lost in his field for years. And it would be 600, 700 pounds, fucking tusks, hair, and they're vicious animals. And one time when I was there early on, we were trying to weigh this boar, it was 700 pounds, and it's slamming up against the sides of the giant scale. And a buddy of mine got in with him, and he cut the back of his leg, whatever that artery is. The boar did, with his tusk, and it killed him. And he bled out like in fucking 30 seconds.
He killed your buddy.
Yeah. So I took a iron bar, and the boar's nuts are like 4 foot off the ground. I know this is ridiculous. I shouldn't do this. But then I just, crushed his nuts to make it even, and his bag all shriveled up. But not that I made it even. It's horrible. It's abusive. Yeah.
You were just reacting in that moment?
I was reacting like,
no, of course.
Yeah. Because they still wanted to fucking use the boar for Pizza Hut pepperoni, even after it killed the dude. They're like, we still got to weigh this thing and get him.
I didn't
know he died right away. Right. I knew he was down. They're like, we still got to slaughter this thing.
Wait, so what did he cut that he bled out like that?
What is he? Is it femoral?
Femoral. Oh, yeah.
And you couldn't put a tourniquet or anything?
No, I mean, it happened quick.
So quick.
There's a lot of accidents that happen in meatpacking plants that you don't know about because they don't want to.
They don't talk about it. Sure.
Yeah.
So the first one you actually killed that wasn't injured, that was like just for food. Like, okay, I got to do this because they're going to kill him.
Right.
What do you do? Are you in the pen, or do you walk up, or do you look at his face first, or what's the...
His face. Well, I mean, there are so many, and it's so stinky and whatever. It's hard to differentiate. When you're in livestock too, there's times with farmers bring them in, there's giant holes in their belly. You can see their organs. And I always felt like, I'm going to put that one to sleep because that has to fucking hurt so much. So there's that. I never got on board with hunting. Everybody else hunted. I thought that was a little bit different. I have nothing against hunters. But they're disgusting, pigs, and you got to say, I have to do this. This is part of the job, but eventually it kind of wears on you. You're like, this is depressing.
So then you wind up getting out of there and saying, But what a jump though from there to just writing comedy.
Well, they fired me. I didn't just leave.
Why'd you get fired? Is that a good story?
I started going to community college.
Okay.
And,
they didn't catch you doing something naughty, did they, Tom?
No. Okay. But I wanted to be a foreman, which is my goal. You have to have a college degree. I started going to community college. I'm working nights at the meatpacking plant. And I said, there was a college party, and I wanted the college experience. And when you go to community college in a small town, it's not like a college experience. So, the median age is like 65. The party's over at 8:30 at night. But I wanted to go, and so I called in sick. On the way home, I said, let's streak to my buddies. Let's do something college-y. And so ended up getting arrested for public nudity at an old folks' home. And if that happens in a small town, it will be in the paper. And the guy at Hormel read it, and he fired me. And
you streaked through an old person's home?
Yes. Well, we went to Mr. Quick's restaurant, but nobody was there. So I was like, that doesn't even count. But then I ended up at the University of Iowa, which was a real comedy experience.
No, that's who you donated.
Or a real college.
That's who you donated the farm to. Was the University of Iowa.
Yeah, and I have a couple writing scholarships every year.
Oh, nice. So there you go.
Yeah.
Hawkeyes, baby.
Yeah.
So you kind of get back.
I do.
He's one of these alumni that you hate.
Yeah.
No, but I don't mind a guy who's spiked. Like I said, a guy who's sparked from a place.
Sure.
Giving back, I have no problem with.
He's
That's just
talking
kind of-
about going back to the college.
Just the guys who are obsessed with their colleges and they go back every year and they just feel like they're a part of it and it's just they've done nothing else.
Rah.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
I'm with you.
Yeah, it irritates me. When you were a kid, you said you were addicted to sugar. What were you eating as a kid?
Well,
like just all fatty kid food, or
yeah. I think if I didn't have a mother, so my grandmothers were amazing cooks, and they would just, pile 10 pancakes and all that sugar and just watch me eat, and they were so proud of me how much I could eat.
Yeah.
Like I was known as a kid that could eat a lot. But I could literally remember the sugar kicking in and going, okay, that's that feeling. Okay.
Really?
This is like this spacey feeling. I'll take that.
Was your mom dead or she left?
No, she left.
Okay.
Yeah, she's dead now, but she was
Did you
alcoholic.
ever see her?
Once in a while, I'd go out looking for her, when I was a little tiny. And, it's a small town and trying to figure out where,
So she was close by while
she
you were
was in
growing
that
up?
small town, yeah. She was.
Oh, she was there. She was right there. Wow.
She was married 6 times after my dad in this small town. But, like I say, our grandmothers were great.
Right.
But I did go looking for her. I mean, it was always a quest, sort of looking for her to connect, and we never hit it off even older. We had alcoholism in common.
How old were you when she died?
She was, I would say I was, I was 30.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, she left when I was 4, like permanently left. And the thing about alcoholics is, people are like, oh, my dad was an alcoholic. He was a great dad. They're sloppy. The alcoholic will not leave their kid with some random fucking dude across the street. They'll do a little fucking research. I mean, a non-alcoholic. But an alcoholic will go, oh, if I can leave this kid over here, then I'm going to hit the bar.
Whoever's willing to take it.
Yeah, whoever's willing to take it.
Right.
And then things look suspicious, but they don't, So she was a sloppy.
Did she leave? Wait, did she leave you with anybody that she shouldn't have at one point?
Yeah, that actually what?
Did she leave you with anybody that she shouldn't have?
Oh, yeah. The guy, it's a guy right across the street. And in adulthood, I went back and found him and confronted him for all the sexual abuse. And I found other kids, he'd done it too. And people didn't want to. It was kind of a big thing. I tracked him down. He's a big church leader, he owns this big company in Iowa. And fucking went to where he worked and showed up and said, this whole thing.
Was it a camera crew or just you?
Just me.
Okay.
But people know about it because and then I said, I'm here to give you back the pain and shame you caused me as a kid. If you tried to do that to me now, I'd beat the fuck out of you. And he did it in front of his employees. I mean, I didn't want to do it in front of his employees, but,
oh, wait, you in front of his employees?
Yeah. Well, I walked into the thing. They're like, I go, where is Terry Blake's office? And they go, right there. Oh, my God, you're Tom. Oh, my God, I'm going to tell him you're here. I go, don't tell him I'm here. So as I come around the corner, he comes out of his office. So I see him down this long hall, and I haven't seen him since I was a kid. And as he comes down this hall, I start my spiel. And then as he gets close to me, I was like, this dude is pretty big. And he put his finger in my chest and said, your memories are wrong, which is a weird thing to say unless you've been confronted before. And for a second, I was scared like I was as a kid. And, I remembered immediately how fucking violent this was. And he put me in this box and whatever. And then I was like, fuck that. I'm a big guy. And grab his hand and said, I seriously will break your fucking neck. And by now the employees had come out. And so I could see in his eye, he got it. But for a second, I could feel what it was like to be a kid, and I could smell the fucking room he used to take me in, which is a false door behind the front door. And I was like, oh, but so anyway, so I did that. He got it. I ran over to the Iowa governor's office, which is he was in Des Moines. And I bursted into his office. He's still the governor there, Terry Branstad. I said, I need you to do me a favor. The statute of limitations has run out. This guy, he was about to adopt his 4th son, by the way. Oh. This all goes together. I said, you got to stop this adoption. This is what he did to me. And he's like, Tom, that is illegal what you're asking me. You were never here. You cannot, that's a federal offense. I can't get involved. It's illegal. So I was like, okay. So I went back to L.A. and then my brother called a couple weeks later and said, the adoption did not go through. Some kind of paperwork snafu. So I know that governor, a Republican, a very conservative guy, went out his way for me. Now, the last thing I did was, oh shit, I've confronted this guy. I made it public. what about the kids in his neighborhood now? So I had my farmhands 6 blocks around his house, kid high, put up posters of this guy's face, name, and crimes. And he'd go replace them every Thursday night for 6 weeks.
He would, how old were you when he would take you in this room?
He was probably 18.
No, how old were you?
Oh, 4 to 7.
And it was a room. What did it smell like?
It smelled. It had this dank smell, and he smelled in just this weird. He's a guy that sat up there, and then the house is torn down now. They made sure of it, but I mean, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, this is. But he gave me a candy bar at the end. I hate to say it, sound like Cosby, but he gave me a fucking candy bar, because that's one thing when I hear the Cosby thing, I was like, oh, Cosby had a system. These guys have a system. What is different? This guy gave me a big candy bar, not a little candy bar. So there's part of me is like, I'm going to get that fucking candy bar.
Right.
At least I get that candy bar. And then he did the thing. His house sat up from our house, and everybody has guns back there. He's like, my dad would come home from work. He's like, I could fucking kill him at any time. I just want you to know this. And so my dad, that's a threat. I realize now, but you're like, I don't want to cause any trouble. But the interesting thing that happened out of all this is his old brother got a hold of me and said it happened to me too, and everybody else ended up confronting the guy too. So,
where's this guy now?
He's still doing his thing. He's just has eyes on him. He's still in Des Moines. He's a church leader.
And what did he ever admit anything or no?
He didn't. I think he did to his family, because so many people after I did it came forward. He couldn't deny, and he's whatever.
Oh my God!
What did his employees do?
But I also gave him the opportunity to sue me. Like I went on Oprah and I said, I'm not going to say the guy's name. Let's call him Terry Williams. I said right into camera. That's his fucking name. So begging him to sue me so we could really.
Because then he'd have to be deposed.
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And he never sued you.
No.
Now, when you in front of his employees,
I also didn't want to see him in Ottumwa, back where I'm from, be at Walmart. My biggest fear is I'd be at Walmart with my family, and this guy'd walk up and he'd be telling people, "You don't see that guy, that celebrity? I fucked him when he was a kid.
Wow.
I did these horrible things to him. I didn't want him to have that kind of fucking power, so I said, I'm going to find this motherfucker, and then I'm going to take care of this."
Wow. Did his employees respond at all when this was happening, or no?
They were just shocked. How you think something fun's going to happen, you run out of the hall.
Yeah.
And man, I didn't stop. I wasn't any quieter. They heard it all.
Wow.
Did it ruin his business?
He still got his business.
Still got his business.
Yeah,
and still a church, so some people still go and preach.
So not much happened to the guy in the end.
Well,
utter humiliation.
Yeah.
But he's still doing his thing.
Yeah. As long as he's not doing the one thing,
Right.
But a lot of times when you're outed like that, it helps.
He probably saved some victims, potential victims.
At least one.
At least one kid he did.
Right.
So you got something done there.
Yeah.
They're saying you got to go already. We're just warming up. We haven't even talked about the new show.
You guys are amazing. I love you guys.
Your show, Tom. Let's talk about My Big Redneck Family. Season 2 premieres this Saturday at 9 on CMT. And what is it? What exactly is the show?
It's a lot like Duck Dynasty. It's a family that we've been named the Clampetts. That's their real name. The first couple seasons were My Big Redneck Vacation, where we took his family that had never been out of Louisiana and put them in the Hamptons. And so you play on that, and it's fun. It's fun.
What are we going to see this season?
Well, there's a divorce going on. It's like they come up with storylines because, like, Duck Dynasty is completely scripted.
All these shows are completely scripted after the Osbournes.
Yeah.
They started scripting these reality shows.
Right. But the fact that we had a real divorce between a couple, at least we're showing that.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Well, TomArnoldComedy.com and just Tom Arnold on Twitter. You're my favorite guest.
You're a great guest.
Thank you guys very much.
So honest. It's so nice.
Love you guys.
It's refreshing, right?
Yeah.
To hear honesty.
Not. So many people. You mention anything, they're like, I don't know if I want to talk. But it's your life, and you talk about it.
You mentioned it in there really fast. You believe Bill Cosby did some things with some of these women, right?
Well, I think because of my experience of being a kid, I can only reference what this guy that did that to me had a system, and I know there's a couple of professional athletes that had that same system. When the story is the same, and people, if you say anything about it, people just
With professional athletes that have the system, do you mean they were victims of it, or they did it to? I'm not sure what you mean.
They did it too. Darren Sharper, he's in prison or he's in jail. They did this thing where they drugged the woman and whatever, but it's the same story over and over in different towns, and then it starts adding up, and Cosby with 35,
Right.
I was arguing with a guy last night who was like, well, why didn't he's a black man in the 60s. Of course, if he would have raped a white woman, he would have went to jail. But it seems like people forget that, victims of sexual abuse, man, it's a fucking hard one to come forward.
And that's the thing. They're like, why did these women wait? First of all, they were ashamed. They're fucking a married guy. This thing happened, and there's a lot of, is it my fault? Is it whatever? And I think that what happened is the first woman, second woman, then they felt empowered. Like I know that story because I went through it. Some people are out for money, I'm sure, but there's no conspiracy to destroy Bill Cosby. I loved Bill Cosby. He was always nice to me, and that's how I decide whether I like people.
Sure.
But when this happened and it started going, and I know Judd tweeted a few things, I really respect Judd because celebrities very seldom will get involved. Like he's put his neck out there, and so I was just kind of backing him up.
He's very vocal about it.
Yeah.
Well, we said many times on this show, even if half the victims are lying, which I doubt, he still has a lot of women to explain.
Judd had
what happened.
He said he's raped more people than I've had sex with.
Judd Apatow, bravo. We got to get him back on the show. All right, there you go.
You guys.
Tom Arnold.
And Tom has stand-up dates, too. Let's just say go to TomArnoldComedy.com. He's going to be in Victoria, Texas, Alberta, Canada. Stress Factory,
nice.
One of my favorite places in New Brunswick. A whole
May 1st.
shitload of dates. So just go to Tom's website and check out his dates, or just Tom Arnold on Twitter.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
buddy.
you. All right. Tom Arnold was great. First time I met him, you told me how great he was last time he was in here.
I love Tom, man. I really do.
Very open and honest.
Yes, man.
We'll talk about anything.
He'll talk about anything. He's a sweet guy, and he never says, "Whoa, I don't want to go there." He'll just give you whatever answers you want to talk about.
I got to thank him for the ties. All those years later.
That's so weird. You got a connection.
Hilarious.
So basically, your first ex-wife, Robin Williams,
worked for them when a lot of that shit was going down. She used to come home and tell me, and everything he just said was true.
What was she, like a nanny, a cleaning lady?
They had an office in their home. They had an office, and
she was like an assistant.
They needed an office manager just for the weekend in the house, and she took the job and did it for like a year.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And you got actual Tom Arnold ties.
I had Tom Arnold ties.
Do you still have them?
Fished out of the pool. No, they're gone somewhere. Moving back, I lost them, but I had them for a good 10 years at least.
Did you wear them?
Armani. Oh, fucking! I would tell everybody these are Tom Arnold ties that my ex-wife fished out of their swimming pool. I love telling everybody the story.
Don't worry that they're wet. They're in a pool.
I dry cleaned them. He was a big fan of the Jerry Garcia ties. I remember that. He had Jerry Garcia had his own ties.
I remember when Garcia had his ties.
So I had a Jerry Garcia. And
what kind of ties were they again?
They're all deadheady tie-dye.
Yeah, I remember he went into the tie business.
Yeah, exactly. So
psychedelic type of shit,
exactly.
right?
Right. It was the 90s, 94.
Anyway,
I wanted to ask him about the Joan Rivers roast too, because he mentioned that. He said it didn't go well. I never saw it, but I'm wondering if he bombed.
He made it sound like
I never saw the roast.
He said he wasn't funny.
He wasn't. Yes, it didn't happen.
Well, you said over the years that doing some of these roasts could be tough.
Sure, they can. They can. It depends on when you go on, how prepared you are.
Mm-hmm.
It helps to have people helping you write stuff, only because you're. Sure. It's not like you can't come up with 20 jokes. Of course you can. But how do you come up with 20 jokes that still work after the same subject has been hit? That's the problem.
Every time, right? Exactly.
Hey, let's roast this guy. He's fat.
Right.
How many fat jokes do you write before just alluding to it becomes boring and like nobody can talk about it? That's the hard part of a roast. It's not the jokes.
Only so many female ejaculation on Norton's face jokes that you can do.
Absolutely. 4,200.
That's the number.
That's the number is 4,200.
But if you roasted me and people talk about trannies, like, okay, that's funny, and there's a bunch of different ways to say it.
Sure.
But by the eighth guy,
oh God, yeah, hell yeah,
there's no surprise in the punchline. There's no. That's why roast. That's why Lampanelli is pretty amazing what she does, because she'd gone on last on so many of those fucking things. That is not an easy place to go on last.
Geraldo too was masterful.
He was going first though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right.
Which was also he was brilliant when he was
masterful.
So I think we're done. Why don't we wrap up?
Yeah, I had fun. I had a good time.
That was wonderful. What are you promoting there, Vic?
I'm in Atlantic City with Ron White and all the Pennsylvania dates this weekend. So come to the shows and again buy my CD live from Loose.
We haven't seen you in a while. Your holiday was good.
My holiday was great. I got away from the regular people. I'm glad to be back in the city.
Yeah, you told me you don't like regular people.
They fucking suck with their hopes and dreams. Good attitudes, fucking family and bullshit like that.
games. What do you got, Jimmy?
Just the February 13th in Connecticut at Foxwoods, and then Super Bowl weekend in Tempe, Arizona, and then this Saturday I'll be in Boston. Those are sold out. They've been sold out. There might be a few comps that we release. I don't know how many I have held because they have those holds for performers, but I never need a lot of comp tickets. They sometimes hold 10 or 20 a show. So there may be a few, or they may have already been killed for camera kills. I don't know. But the set feels very, very ready.
Nice.
I feel good to be shooting it.
I think I'm making the trip to Boston.
Good, man. Come up. Maybe we'll go to UFC
fun.
Sunday. The UFC is that McGregor's fighting. I really want to stay up there.
We have Monday off for MLK, right?
Yep.
Because we support the black people, right?
God bless them.
That's right.
Selma.
Put the pills in the Camille. Come on. Did you see the Golden Globes when they were doing their Cosby? That part of the monologue I enjoyed. I didn't like the Margaret Cho.
Too much.
I thought it fell flat.
Yeah, it did.
The what?
The Margaret
Cho kind of dressed up like a North Korean soldier.
Exactly.
It was all right. Sam, what do you think? It was just all right?
Yeah.
It missed the mark a little bit.
But you can't keep doing it.
It's pretty brave.
For it to be okay.
Yeah, I thought it was ballsy, but it stopped being funny, like, quick.
Right.
So, like, it was still ballsy, that's pretty...
ballsy.
But, like, it wasn't...
They should have bailed on it.
Especially when they went back to it later in the show. It was like, I
was
got
gone
it.
by that point.
I got it. Yeah, they went back to it on stage. And
Right. Anyway. Oh! I put together a video when Eddie Money was here. I encourage you to go see it. Holy fuck. It was that kid that came in with Eddie Money. Eddie Money has a musical. And by the way, people went, hey, you guys are really good actors to make believe you didn't know that Eddie Money did the same musical 4 years prior. And then when I read that tweet, I'm like, holy fuck, that's right. He did do that. I forgot.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what happened to Eddie Money. He did this musical. And then 4 years later, he's doing the exact same fucking thing with a new guy playing the young Eddie Money.
Okay.
And I forgot that the last time he was in, he promoted whatever. But the kid that was playing the young Eddie Money was in here, and he decided to try his hand at comedy.
Uh-oh.
And I'm telling you, it's labeled as worst bomb in radio history, because I truly believe it is.
Nice.
He fucking wound up, and I think he pulled out his back swinging and missing. It is horrendous. Okay. And there's so much going on in this video. There's him winding up and can't wait to get the line out. Then he presents the line horribly. And then the realization when Jimmy realized what just happened with this kid, Jimmy's eyes get so big and he gets so excited that this kid bombed.
Didn't he say you can't get it on CVS? So you can't get that on CVS. It was really a bomb. He meant like the pharmacy. It was a monumental bomb.
Do we have it to end the show?
Yeah.
It was a monumental bomb.
I can't believe he fell for it in the studio.
No, we weren't even kidding. He did it.
Oh, I know.
He set himself up.
It works as a radio bit as well, but I do encourage you to check out the video because there's so much going on in the video.
In honor of the video coming. Oh, it's a good one.
You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen to this, Vic. Then we'll get out of here.
Here we go.
You got an ad.
You got to stick through there.
TE Wi-Fi.
All right, here we go.
And it turned out to be just phenatol, and I went into this catatonic state, and my nerves, you know how your nerves twitch in your body?
Yeah.
Well, you know, when you go into the catatonic state, your nerves don't twitch. So I killed the sciatic nerve in my left leg.
Wow.
So I couldn't walk for about 8 or 9 months, so which was a real drag. But then I came back with the No Control album, which was my biggest record,
and
I got high all over again. Actually, the guy that invented that drug is in jail for the next 30 years because it killed a lot of young people.
Wow.
It really did. It's called phenatol. I don't know how to spell it.
Yeah, I guess you can't get that on CVS, I guess.
Wow.
That's all right.
Hey, look, I can't sing, Sal. Give me a guitar. I'll show you what just happened. Oh, fuck. And then Eddie Money is so embarrassed that the kid bombed. You see his look? He puts his head down and looks toward Norton like, save me. And Norton's like, fuck saving you. We're going to enjoy this.
That was pure gleefulness.
Oh,
Did you see
Jimmy
the look on Norton's
so
face?
happy.
The look on you were very, very happy.
Extremely happy.
Joy.
Yeah, I can see it.
Pure joy.
I've known you a long time, and I know unadulterated Norton joy.
Unbridled
Yes,
joy.
that was unbridled Norton joy. That was perfect.
I want to end with a song. Pick a song to end the show with. I'm putting you on the spot. Something cool. Something maybe you don't hear on radio.
We said Johnny Cash will play Social Distortion, Ring of Fire. That's a damn good Johnny Cash cover.
Well, why don't we play Johnny Cash, though?
Because you said make it cool.
Johnny Cash is cool.
Yeah, but Social D. That Social D's a good cover.
All right, we can play that.
It's a good song.
I am Johnny Cash. It can make me laugh all day. Vic, thank you. It was good to see you.
Anytime,
You got to
guys.
do that read, too.
What?
Uh-oh.
I don't know if you want to do it. You want to play a song before you got to do that thing.
No, and then we'll end with Vic Henley's song. The announcement you have been waiting for. I wrote Steven Singer yesterday because I was a little paranoid that I've been going at him a little too hard. He didn't write me back.
Because you've been going at him too hard.
I think we got problems with Steven Singer.
Well, you've not been doing a good job with the commercials.
I said, I'll tell you. I'll take you inside the show, Sam. This was to Steven Singer. Been taking an aggressive approach to your live reads lately.
What is that?
Please let me know if it ever goes too far. I got a little paranoid. Just trying to spice it up.
Oh.
He never wrote back. So I think he is pissed.
But maybe just do the commercials.
That's why I've been a bit calmer today with his live reads.
I noticed that.
It's got a new color. It's butterscotch for those gold dip roses. That's the big announcement today. He doesn't make enough for the people, so you got to buy him now. He puts everyone in a panic.
You see what I mean?
And then he secretly makes more. That's what drives me nuts about this guy.
He gets every, sure, of course.
He's got a limited color.
It's the lost leader. It's called a lost leader.
Let me take you into the mind of the shyster.
This is a bad commercial.
Well, he should have wrote me back. I'm assuming if he didn't write me back, he's cool with this.
That's the wrong
thing. This is what they do. Limited edition, limited color, whatever.
Numbered.
That puts you, the buyer, into a panic.
Got to get
and
one.
And you buy right away. And then he, back at the factory, runs out, and he just makes more.
Hey, look what I found over here. More butterscotch.
Right, and then he
found more butterscotch right over here.
Then he makes an excuse like, oh, no, we're going to extend the limited offer. Right?
I'm with you.
There's no reason not to make more.
Do you get that the commercial is the whole point? Like he's paying for a sense of urgency that you're stripping away?
It's a fake sense of urgency.
It's a false sense of urgency.
Right, but that's what he wants. Like, and that's what he paid you to do, help him with that. And then you just thank you for the money. Go fuck yourself.
That's how we end up in Iraq. Right there. False sense of urgency. Right. That's how we end up in Iraq.
Butterscotch roses, too.
But I'm here to say our listeners are not stupid. Steven. Figure out another approach to get them to buy your butterscotch gold dip rose this year. Because our listeners are not stupid. They're not falling for that crap.
Say you can lick them and they taste like butterscotch.
There you go. Right. Say that. All right. Put a little candy inside them or something.
Easily the worst commercial you've ever done.
You should have wrote me back. 24-karat gold dip roses are the perfect gift for Valentine's Day, starting at just $59. He has lots of colors. But this year, the special color is butterscotch.
Because it's limited.
Well, trust me, February 12th, you'll still be able to get a butterscotch gold dip rose, okay?
No, that's the whole reason to order it out, because they sell out.
No, you forgot the part where I said our listeners aren't stupid. Wait till the last minute. You'll still get your butterscotch gold dip rose from Steven Singer.
He sells out. He sold out last year, the special color.
If you want to do it now because you're a panicky Pete, fine, do it now, but he'll have plenty. In the end, he'll have plenty. I bet you he has the color from last year still.
No, last year he sold out.
I bet you it's on that website all sneaky-like.
There's a secret compartment for it?
No, it's buried in with the other colors, and you go, wait a minute, that was last year's special color.
And they go, no, it's a different shade.
Oh, I see. IHateStevenSinger.com to check out the wonderful gold dip roses. His products are wonderful, Vic Henley. I just don't like the way he does things.
Now, it's trickeration.
He's got wonderful stuff. I go there all the time. I send family members there all the time.
I've been there myself.
I got a few of these gold-dipped roses. So there you go. I think we sold some roses for the guy today.
What makes you think that?
IHateStevenSinger.com. Reserve yours today.